7-6 lifetime against the Expos. Smith, Rose, and McBride. Schmidt, Matthews, and Moreland. Bowa, Trillo, and Christensen. Moreland sends the ball down to second base, and Warren Cromartie will lead it off.
Warren Cromartie, and again, we were down around the batting cage during batting practice, and the Montreal Expos, even though they're away from their very comfortable surrounds of Olympic Stadium, they seem very confident and very relaxed taking their pregame warm-ups.
They're a dangerous club in this park, just as the Phillies are. They have some power.
They sure do, and the ball jumps out of this ballpark a lot better than it does out of the Big O.
The sun is shining. We have some clouds which are rapidly dispersing, and some of the Philly fielders need sunglasses. And evidently they are all set now, and Lonnie Smith goes back into center field. It's Christensen and Moreland, an infield of Schmidt, Bowa, Trillo, and Rose. Matthews, Smith, and McBride in the outfield, and it would be a rather easy accomplishment for the Phillies to win 3 in a row in their home park. They're totally capable of it.
They're very capable of doing that. Plus, this is the game, obviously. Dallas Green has Larry Christensen starting, and he will not hesitate to go with the whole staff right now, because he has to win every game, and you know, whereas Jim Fanning can wait Lamar in case this game gets out of hand.
The first pitch of the day, and it's a strike called in at the knees to the left-handed batter, Cromartie, hitting .304 for the regular season. He's been a good leadoff man since being put in that spot. Strike called outside corner. Cromartie had 2 hits in the first game and 2 last night. He's quickly in the hole. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Low for a ball. Christensen, a fastball slider pitcher, and he can blow you away in the first couple of innings.
And Christensen will throw under your chin, too. He's not afraid out there.
Is next to the leadoff man, and it is a breaking ball. Looked like a pound ball of sorts.
Some kind of an off-speed pitch. Larry, in order to be successful, has got to throw a straight changeup.
And the 2-2 pitch coming. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Moreland dropped the ball but tagged the batter. That's the way it stands. Funny thing, talking to Cromartie before the game, he told me that Christensen throws him off-speed pitches. He struck him out nonetheless with a good tailing pitch.
That ball was down and away, and he had Cromartie a little aware of that ball inside, and he was given a little bit as he was reaching for that ball low and away, and he just swung and missed at it. But as I said, Christensen has got to throw his off-speed pitch because he's got a good enough fastball, but it makes that off-speed more effective.
Jerry White now, ball 1 is at his feet. Might it be difficult for the batters to see? Christensen's throwing out of a patch of sunlight into the shade.
It's a tough time of day. This is normally batting practice time for night games, and you got the sun in the outfield with the shadows and then a little strip of sun across the pitcher's mound right now.
Cromartie is struck out, and Jerry White takes ball 2. White in the first game was 1 for 4 and took the collar last night with a walk, so he's 1 out of 7 in the series. Strike call. Christensen fired one in there. Along the way, winning 3-1 in both previous games, Montreal has defeated Steve Carlton and Dick Ruthven, the 2 best Philadelphia pitchers. Swing and a miss.
And you can tell Bruce Frumming is from Wisconsin. He's out there in shirt sleeves in this very cool afternoon.
Christensen slows it down. He's retired Cromartie. He's ahead on the count, 2-2 to White. The pitch. Strike call. He punched him out over the outside corner. White argues about it, but the pitch appears to be very good. Maybe they can't see the ball at all.
He has, Larry has struck out 2 guys now, and there's a little argument at home plate. But he's punched out both batters on balls on the outside part of the plate, 1 swinging and 1 called. Yeah, that was a good pitch. We just looked at the replay next to me, and it was a ball tailing away from the left-hand hitter, and it did catch a good portion of the outside corner.
So Larry Christensen has retired the first 2 on strikes, and Andre Dawson takes ball 1. Dawson hit 24 home runs during the regular season. He had 2 hits in the first game and 1 last night. He bounces it to short. Larry Bowa gets it, fires it to first, and the inning is over. Down in order go the Montreal Expos, and suddenly, despite the fact they're down 2 games to none, you can just feel the momentum swinging over to the Phillies. In the middle of the first inning, no score. Ray Burris on the mound after 1/2 inning here in Philadelphia, no score. And now for an update on the Houston Dodger game, let's join the Beach Boys, Jerry Coleman and Ralph Kiner in Los Angeles.
From Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, I'm Jerry Coleman for Ralph Kiner. We've gone through a half inning of play out here where the Dodgers have their backs to the wall. Houston leading 2-0. Bert Hooton on the mound for Los Angeles. He is opposed by the left-handed Bob Knepper for Houston. In the first half inning, Terry Poole for the Astros flied to right field. Bill Garner got a base on balls, and Tony Scott hit into a double play from Garvey to the shortstop, Bill Russell. As it stands right now, no score in the ball game. Dodgers coming up, bottom of the first. Let's go back now to Jack Buck and Joe Torre.
Thank you, Jerry Coleman. Joe Torre, did you feel what I felt when Larry Christenson dispatched Montreal in the first inning?
That's what that good pitching will do for you. And Tim McCarver, the former Philly who is in the booth right next to us, leaned over and said he has never seen Larry Christenson have that kind of movement on his fastball, which is a positive sign for the Phillies, which, of course, need as many positive things to happen to them today as possible.
I have seen Christenson, and you have too, where in the first 3 or 4 innings, he's very, very strong. Then the second time around, his stuff diminishes considerably.
Well, he's big and strong, and of course, the only question right now is how far can he go, because he hasn't pitched all that much. He was on a disabled list. He committed against our ball club the last month of the season and pitched 4 strong innings in relief and looked pretty much like he looked here in the first inning.
Ray Burris, long time of the Cubs. A right-hander is on the mound. His first pitch sails back to the screen, bounces in the dirt, and goes all the way back. Burris used to be with the Cubs, the Yankees, the Mets, and he was 9-7 this year for Montreal. He faces Lonnie Smith, ball 1. Smith has hit safely in his last 25 games. Strike call. Burris sometimes has difficulty with that strike zone.
Ray Burris is basically a breaking ball pitcher. He doesn't like to throw the fastball for a strike too often.
Smith leading off, swings, corks it into right. On the move, the right fielder, Jerry White, jumps. He almost overran the ball. He caught it for the out. Smith really stung it, and Jerry White caught it, 1 gone.
Well, I'll tell you, Lonnie Smith has really been popping the ball real well. He's swinging the bat, hitting the ball to all fields, and I know he's the kind of leadoff hitter you want in a ball game like this to try to start you off and get something going.
Here's Pete Rose. Rose drove in the only Philadelphia run last night. Had 2 hits in the previous game. Switch hitter batting left-handed, and he attempts to become the first runner of the day. Andre Dawson moves into left center as Pete Rose stands in, up on the bat handle a bit. First pitch coming from Burris, and there's a drag bunt foul. Strike 1. Mr. Friendly, the plate umpire, is quite vigorous today, isn't he?
He sure is. He's
bouncing around back there.
He's out there trying to keep warm, probably. All the other umpires have their turtlenecks and their jackets on and their hands in their pockets.
Burris is being caught by Gary Carter. The Expos have Parrish, Speier, Manuel, and Cromartie on their infield. Pete Rose took a ball in the outfield. Francona in left. Dawson in center. And White in right field. Rose started to go, held up, 2 balls and a strike. Third baseman Parrish has to stay in and guard against the bunt. He's even with the base. Here it comes. Up high. Ball 3, 3-1. McBride on deck. If the Phillies, and now there is ball 4 as the pitcher went to his mouth while on the pitching mound. That's ball 4, and Pete Rose goes to first base. Sometimes they waive that rule and they allow the pitcher to do that, but not today.
Well, he's allowed to go to his mouth as long as he's off the dirt surface, but I guess Ray must have been on the fringe of the dirt surface when Bruce Froemming caught him going to his mouth.
So Rose draws a walk, and the batter is McBride. Bake McBride, a .271 hitter during the season, tough to get on the double play. These Phillies are difficult to beat in this park. Ball 1 is low.
And Ray Burris gets into a habit like so many ex-Cub pitchers that they're used to pitching in that cozy ballpark, and they try to nip corners all the time, and pretty soon you find that you're behind in the count.
Smith lined out, Rose walked, and now McBride swings and pops it up. On the infield, coming on is Andre Dawson. He chases everybody away and makes the catch for the out. What a good center fielder he is. Everybody scatters when he comes out of the scene.
Well, he's got the speed to make up for a lot of mistakes he might make in breaking for a ball, but as far as I'm concerned, he's as good as there is out there.
He also has the guts, Joe. He wants those tough catches as well.
And, you know, he's impressed me not only defensively but offensively. He gets up to the plate. He realizes how they're going to pitch him, how tough, and he accepts the walk when they decide to give it to him. And his time will come because he's got a heck of a future ahead of him.
The batter is Mike Schmidt with Rose at first, 2 out. Schmidt, who hit 31 home runs during the regular season, is a terror in this part. He just snaps those wrists and the ball flies out. He takes ball 1 low outside. Schmidt was 0 for 3 last night with a walk. And he's 0 for 6 in the series. They've walked him a couple of times. Cromartie holds against Pete Rose. No score, first inning. Here's the next one from Burris. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. B-U-R-R-I-S. Ray Burris. He's come to be a pretty good force in the National League.
He's pitched well for the Expos since they signed him as a free agent. He won 9 games for them, and he got cranked up with Carlton in his last start against the Phillies.
Here's the next one to Schmidt. It misses high outside. You had him with the miss, didn't you?
We had him, and we were interested in signing him, but, you know, Frank Cashin and Ray couldn't get together on terms, and it turned out he winds up going through the draft and getting picked up by the Expos.
Rose, the runner at first, 2 out. Here it comes. Smith hits it on the ground to short. Speier over to second for the force out. And we have a scoreless first inning. Schmidt couldn't get that ball up in the air. No runs, no hits, no errors, a walk and 1 left. At the end of the first inning, Montreal nothing, Philadelphia nothing. Montreal at Philadelphia, no score after 1. Gary Carter to lead it off, and he loves this park.
He sure does, Jack. He has hit 15 lifetime home runs here at the Vet, and 2 of them have been this year. And the only ones that have hit more than Gary are Dave Parker and Johnny Bench, and they just hit 16. So he's very comfortable here, and as I say, the ball does get out of here pretty good.
The Expos went down 1-2-3 in the opening inning. Carter, Parrish, and Francona will bat here in the second against Larry Christenson. Here's the pitch, low and away. In the latter part of the season, the Phillies used Christenson out of the bullpen to try to tune him up for postseason play. He carries all their hopes right now. And Carter takes a strike, and it's 1-1. Carter had 16 home runs during the season, drove home 68 runs to lead the Expos in that department. Last night, 1 out of 4, a 2-run homer. He took a strike. A sharp slider puts him in the hole. He is 2 out of 7 in the series.
Christensen tries to pattern himself after Steve Carlton. You know, just go hard for as long as you can. He's not quite as strong as Lefty, but that's the attitude he brings to the mound with him. And of course, he's had some chronic back problems, which has made him a little inconsistent.
Carter leading off, fouls it back into the seats. Mike Schmidt deep behind the base at third, rather close to the line. Gary Matthews pulled into the left field corner. Lonnie Smith playing left center. Keith Moreland has caught all 3 games. We've seen nothing of Bob Boone in the series. In fact, we've seen very little of the Phillies. They've scored only 2 runs in 2 games. The next pitch coming, and Carter swings and corks it into left. It lands fair, goes into the corner. He'll try for 2. He'll make it as the ball gets away from Matthews. A leadoff double for Gary Carter on a high pitch.
It looked like another mistake breaking ball, and Christensen tried to get it down. But, you know, when you're looking for that ball away from you, that ball up and in looks real big.
Here comes Larry Parrish. Now, I bet this is a dilemma for him, Joe. He's a pull hitter. It's a friendly park, and he has some power. He has hit 8 home runs, but he knows that he has to get that runner to third.
His job right here is to get him over to third base, and if he wants to bunt it, go ahead. But basically, he's going to try to hit the ball to the other side of the infield for the first 2 strikes. After 2 strikes, you're on your own. You can't take 3 strikes away from yourself.
Off the stretch is Christensen. Off at second base is Carter. The pitch misses, ball 1. So even a big guy in a small park, you wouldn't blame him if he bunted in a spot like this. Well,
you want to get that guy over to third. In a short series like this, 1 run could be the difference.
The next one coming to Parrish. Swing and a miss at a high delivery. 1 ball, 1 strike. Partly sunny day here in Philadelphia. The sunshine in this park is mostly in the outfield. Center fielder might have a difficult job, along with the right fielder, of picking up that ball off the bat. All of the infielders are in the shade. Carter has started the second inning with a booming double into left. The pitch to Parrish. Misses outside. 2 balls and a strike.
See, the problem with Parrish here, that's not his natural stroke to hit the ball the other way. He's a pull hitter, and it would be unnatural for him to try to hit it that way, although I know he has it in mind.
The next one is coming. And it's low outside. Ball 3. He may not have to worry about swinging the bat.
Well, Larry's pitching him careful, and he's pitching away from him, which is unusual considering he's trying to hit the ball the other way.
3 balls and a strike. Parrish waits. Now he swings and hits it foul into right field. He was working hard to get it out there. 3-2.
He really did. He hit that ball down and in and tried to loop it out to right and just did hit it foul.
Now, full count of 3-2. Christenson chalked up 2 strikeouts in the first inning. He's working to the Expos here in the second. Montreal leading 2-0. They have Carter on at second base and nobody out. See that Steve Garvey has put the Dodgers out in front with a home run. Their game against Houston.
He's done that once or twice.
Off the stretch, the next delivery. Parrish pops it into short right field. McBride comes on. He's there. The runner will not advance. There's the catch. 1 out. McBride was doing a little jitterbug coming in, trying to keep track of that ball in the sunlight.
Well, see, I think that was a mistake. I think that that Parrish was still trying to go to right field. And as I say, after 2 strikes, you really got to be on your own. He took something away from himself and wound up no better for it. He's still on second base and is 1 out.
Stone will take a base hit as far as Montreal is concerned, either from Francona, who's up there now, or Chris Speier, who will be next. Carter is able to get a good lead off of second base. Here's the pitch to Francona. First ball hitter ordinarily swings and fouls it out of play off to the left.
He's a slasher. He's going to get behind in the count. It's not going to be with a call strike from the looks of the way he's been swinging the bat in this series.
He came up from Denver in the latter part of the season, batted .274, had 1 home run, and drove home 8 runs. The Expos trying not to waste Gary Carter's double. Here comes the pitch. Strike called on the outside edge. You have a base open. The left-handed batter up. Speier, the right-handed batter, next. Moreland gives the sign. And here's the pitch. And a ground ball to the left side. The runner stays at second. Schmidt throws the batter out at first. Francona is out by 3. It's up to Chris Speier, who's been pretty much of a hero. He has seized the moment for Montreal.
He's been a big part of both ball games for the Expos, and of course you got light-hitting Jerry Manuel on deck, so it wouldn't surprise me at all to see Speier walk here. Not necessarily intentionally, but I'm sure Christenson is going to pitch him very carefully.
And Manny Trillo come in, perhaps to remind him of that very same thing. Speier batted only .225 during the season.
And if you notice, Trillo is still playing him over towards second base, leaving him that hole to hit through on the right side.
Speier has been on base 6 times in the 2 games. 6 out of 7 tries. Ball 1. And he had the game-winning blow in the first encounter between these teams. Carter led off with a double. He's still there with 2 out. Christenson from the belt brings it in. Speier takes a breaking ball. He bailed out. It was a strike, 1-1.
Well, what's important for Christensen to do now, how many innings he pitches depends on how many pitches he throws. So he's going to try to put the Expos away as quickly as possible if he can.
With 2 out, Speier takes ball 2, low outside. The on-deck hitter is Jerry Manuel, who has hit little or nothing in this series and batted .200 after taking over for Rodney Scott at second base. The next pitch coming. Chris Speier takes ball 3. Bruce Fleming, the plate umpire, started to put up the right hand.
Looked like he started to flinch a little bit that right hand. He changed his mind. He thought better of it.
At the end of 1 inning out in California, 3-0 in favor of the Dodgers over Houston. Runner at second, 2 out for Montreal. Swinging a line drive, base hit in the left, and Montreal goes on top. Carter comes home to score. Speier hangs on at first. Speier's doing it all.
Another mistake for the Phillies with a base open. It's happened 3 times to them in this series, and it's cost them every single time.
That ball was up and in, and Speier fell away and knocked it into left field. And Carter scored, and with this weak-hitting second baseman coming up. You know there was a mistake for Philadelphia.
Oh, it sure was. Lefty did it with Carter the other night, and, of course, today. And, in fact, it's happened to Speier twice.
And now a swing and a foul by Jerry Manuel. Montreal breaks on top, 1-0. We're in the second inning. They've had some two-out hits, a two-run homer with two out in the third inning last night, won it for the Expos. Here it comes, and Manuel grounds it foul past third base, where Ozzie Virgil is coaching. No balls, 2 strikes. Virgil did a good job last night. You seldom give any praise to the third base coach. You ordinarily pay attention to their mistakes, but he waved Larry Parrish home in a critical spot last night, and it paid off.
Never hesitated one bit. They were going to test Bake McBride right there, and it paid off for them.
Speier leads away at first, and Manuel swings and hits it into left field. Down the line, it curves and just goes foul. He missed a two-run homer by about 5 feet in the left field corner.
Christenson is getting the ball up. He just doesn't seem to be finishing in his delivery, Jack. He's standing straight up, and which means the ball stays up in the strike zone, which means that a lot of bad things can happen that way.
Manuel has hit 3 home runs during the year. That's surprising for him. He's such a poor hitter.
It won against our ball club.
Little fella, but the ball jumps when he hits it. Now the pitch. Ooh, it just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Speier on at first, being held by Pete Rose. There are 2 out, a throw to first. The runner gets back in. Time call by Chris Speier. After the Expos went down 1-2-3 in the first inning. Carter doubled to start the second. Stayed there with 2 out. Then Speier singled him home. And now Manuel fouls it back. Philadelphia put a runner on, Pete Rose, who walked in the first inning, but he was left.
He's challenging Manuel with fastballs. That last pitch was right down the middle, and Larry's just having a little trouble with placement right now.
The next delivery. Swing and a foul tip drops at the catcher's feet. It's still 1-2.
You wonder out in L.A. if that's deja vu for the Houston Ball Club after going in there 3 games ahead last year, the last weekend of the season, and here they are behind 3-0.
Runner on at first, 2 out, and a half swing. He went around, and Manuel is out on strikes. The third strikeout for Christenson. 1 run for Montreal on 2 hits and 1 left. In the middle of the second inning, the score, the Expos 1, the Phillies 0.
CBS News. Vice President Bush says Saudi Arabia needs American AWACS planes to defend itself against radicals such as Libyan leader Gaddafi. Bush says Gaddafi is an egomaniac who would trigger World War III just to make headlines. The White House says President Reagan will deliver an important foreign policy speech on international economic development next Thursday. Inflation at the wholesale level slowed to an annual rate of 2.2% last month, the lowest level in more than 3 years. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones average at the closing today down about 5 points on a volume of 50 million shares. Douglas Edwards, CBS News.
Joe Torre, if Ray Burris can throw a shutout here at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, the Expos will go on to the League Championship Series. He's ahead 1-0.
And they'll go to warmer climate, of course. It'll either be Houston or L.A., and they open in the West. And that's it. You don't want to give a ball club that has a 2-game lead, a lead in the third game, because they might just roll right through.
First up is Gary Matthews. He was retired at a key moment last night in the 8th inning with the bases loaded. First pitch to him. He's a dangerous hitter. Strike called. Burris gets ahead on the count. Now the Husky right-hander brings home another and throws it low. Burris has had some strong games here at the tail end of the season.
They're trying to get something going in the dugout, the Philly dugout. Pete Rose is up on the step, clapping his hands. He's just trying to get things going, trying to get the blood rushing, trying to get these guys to realize that it's now or forget about it for the rest of the year.
And there's a little room for a rah-rah in this game, isn't there?
That's right. It might sound corny, but it still works. Gets that adrenaline going, and that's what helps you take it out between the lines.
Burris slows it down a bit. He's behind on the count, 2-1 to Gary Matthews. Here it comes. Swing and a ground ball up the middle. A base hit past the diving Speier. And Matthews hangs on at first. A leadoff single here in the second inning. Why didn't I do that last night?
That would have gotten through there quicker last night on that wet turf, but he's got to start now. You got to black that out. That's what makes this game so tough to play. You've got to really forget about yesterday and think about right now, because yesterday you can't do anything about it anymore.
Keith Moreland is up. What'll it be off his bat? A home run or a double play ball? He doesn't run well. He has power. He homered up in Montreal 2 days ago. A lead by Matthews, and the pitch is a strike call. They don't take many liberties with Gary Carter catching. Matthews has good speed, but the Phillies are behind 1-0. The next one to Moreland, coming, swing, and a ball up the middle is a hit. Goes into center field, and Matthews stops at second. They don't take many liberties on Andre Dawson either.
I'll tell you, Matthews knew he was not going to go to third base because he knew the center fielder was. In a lot of cases, a ball that bounces through the infield like that, up the middle, that guy at first base is really thinking third, but Matthews knew who the guy was and just made a short turn at second.
Matthews singled into center, and so did Keith Moreland. Pitcher and catcher talk it over. The batter is Larry Bowa. This is where Bowa will try to pull the ball, and he can do it.
Well, it's interesting to see what kind of strategy will be deployed here by Dallas Green, because if you sacrifice, you're getting them to second and third with the eighth hitter up, and you're going to have to make Jim Fanning make a decision. Are you going to walk him? If he walks him, that means he's going to have to face the leadoff hitter. And so it would really put some pressure on the defense right now.
I like the hit and run in a spot like this better than any other play.
Just to get them moving, stay out of the double play.
Here's the pitch to Bowa. Low for ball one to Larry. Switch hitter batting left. First two Phillies have reached. They haven't done that very often in this series.
And the thing about Burris being the pitcher, when you talk about hit and run, it's a possibility because of the fact that he's a low ball pitcher. He's supposed to be, and you're able to hit the ball on the ground and stay out of the double play.
Matthews leads off second. Moreland off first. Here's the pitch to Bowa. Ball low, ball two. Manny Trillo on deck. And the pitcher wants a different ball. Cromartie comes over to talk to his hurler. Lee Elia coaching at third for the home team. His name has been in the news. They say perhaps when Dallas Green goes to the Cubs, and that's a foregone conclusion now, Elia will go there and take over the manager's reins with Chicago. Ruben Amaro coaches at first. 2 balls, no strikes to count. The Phillies have the home crowd with them now. The pitch, he shows the bunt and takes the strike.
Well, if something's going to happen, Jack, as far as the play, this should be the pitch they're going to do it on. The hitter's ahead in the count, and Burris has to throw a strike here, so we'll see if they move the runners.
Matthews at second, Moreland at first. 1-0. Montreal leads, second inning. Off the stretch. The runners are not going, and there's a fly ball into left field. Coming on, Francona gets to it. Fair ball, he has it, 1 out. And the Phillies just sat there, Joe. They didn't do anything.
Well, I tell you, Larry Bowa hits the ball in the air, and not too many things are going to happen, and that's just what happened right there. Montreal so far has dodged the bullet, and that just gave Ray Burris a little more confidence to go back up on that mound and try to get out of the inning right now.
First and second, 1 out. By the way, Larry Christenson, who comes on deck, is a very, very good hitter.
Very strong. He can hit the ball at this ballpark.
Up now is Manny Trillo, a .287 hitter during the regular season. In this series, it was 0 for 4 and 0 for 3. He takes ball one. The hits are even at 2 apiece. Montreal has the game's only run. The Expo infielders look for the double play ball. The outfield straight away with Trillo up there. They give him the right field corner, and he may burn them out there. 2 on and 1 out. Swing and a miss. He tried to hammer it out of the park. 1-1.
Burris threw that ball very hard. He has a good fastball. The only thing he had to convince Ray of is that he has to use his fastball in order to make the other stuff effective, just like we said last night about Ruthven's breaking balls.
Manny Trillo waits. He could lift the Phillies up by the bootstraps right here. 2 on, 1 out. A swing and a foul. Trying to go to right. 1 and 2. Trillo will do that. He'll try to pull one pitch out of the park and then go to the opposite field with the next one.
Yeah, he makes pretty good contact. He hit close to 290 this year, and plays second baseman the way he does. He's very valuable to a ball club.
Bonson, a curveball pitcher, a right-hander, warms up in the Montreal bullpen. 2 on, 1 out, 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to the batter. 1-0. Montreal leads in the second. The pitch inside. 2-2.
Again, this is the pitch Burris wants to get this hitter out with, because they get the 3-2, and in all probability the runners will be running, and anything can happen when you start opening holes on that infield.
The 2-2 pitch to Trillo. Swing and a ball hit up the middle, and it goes on through. Tying for the tying run. The other man goes to third. He is safe. The ball goes into the dugout. A run scored. Philadelphia leads 2-1. Manny Trillo ends up at third base with only 1 out, and you wouldn't believe the way that ball sneaks through the infield.
Well, I tell you, it skipped through the infield, Jack, but there was a mix-up between the second baseman and the shortstop. At least that's what it looked like to me. It looked like Speier didn't know if Manuel was going to get to it, and vice versa, because in that situation, Speier's got to dive and keep that ball in the infield to keep the run from scoring.
And then Andre Dawson made a poor choice. He threw into third base trying to get Moreland, and he had no chance at all to get him. And as soon as Trillo saw the throw go there, he lit out for second. The ball went into the dugout. The runner was waved home, and Trillo was awarded third.
And another thing that didn't happen was Ray Burris was not back at third base in time to keep that ball from going in the dugout. As soon as that ball was hit, Burris started going toward home in case there was a play at the plate, but then had to reroute himself and get behind third, because that's where the play turned out to be.
The Phillies lead 2-1. They have a runner at third, 1 out, and Christenson up, and he swings and misses. Strike 1. Trillo, the runner, on at third with 1 out. That's the first time that Montreal has failed to execute in this series.
And I agree with you. I thought Dawson should not have tried to throw to third base.
And now Christensen swings and misses. Strike 2. That ball hit by Trillo, he only had a half swing at it, really, and it just dribbled up the middle and went on through for a very meaningful hit for Philadelphia. They lead 2-1. A runner at third. Christensen takes the ball. There's only 1 out.
And that was the first Expo error of their series.
Burris striving for the strikeout. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got it. A low breaking ball, and Christensen is down on strikes. It's up to Lonnie Smith to get the runner home.
Well, he's their hot hitter right here. And he can't be messing with pitching around him either, because the monster's on deck. Pete Rose, who always seems to be in the middle of things when there are positive things to happen for the home club.
Infielders drop back now with 2 out. Smith lined out hard to right in the Philadelphia first inning. He took a breaking ball strike. Trillo on at third with 2 outs. Burris looks at third and brings it in. A ball low outside. Phillies have made 2 runs on 3 hits. All 3 hits in this inning, all of them on the ground and up the middle. Now Smith was going to bunt, and he took ball 2.
Now, he caught Parrish way back, and if he gets that ball down, then a play can be made anywhere.
Smith can really run. Has a bit of power. He's hit 2 home runs. Montreal will be happy to get out of this with only 2 runs coming home, 3 hits and an error. There's a high fly ball into left center. Dawson will get it. He chased a bad ball. And there's the catch to end the inning. The Phillies have taken the lead. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 1 left. And at the end of the second inning, the score is Philadelphia 2 and Montreal 1. After 2 innings here in Philadelphia, the Phils are on top 2-1 over the Expos. For an update on the Houston Dodger game, let's join Jerry Coleman and Ralph Kiner in Los Angeles.
Ralph Kiner, along with Jerry Coleman and Tom Lasorda, played for 1 and got 3 in the first inning. Davy Lopes walked. He was sacrificed down to second. Lasorda looking for 1 run. Dusty Baker got that 1 run when he doubled into left field, scoring Lopes from second base. But then Steve Garvey hit a home run with a man on, and it was 3-0 in favor of the Dodgers. Houston got 1 back and a home run by Art Howell in the third, and now we go to the bottom half of the third. The Dodgers leading by a score of 3-1. Back to Jack Buck and Joe Torre.
Thank you, Ralph Kiner. So a home run by Art Howe puts Houston on the board. And here Ray Burris leads off for the visiting Expos. Big right-hander. Not really a good hitter, but he's strong. Swing and a miss, strike one. Larry Christenson on the mound. He has been given the lead by his teammates. Swing and a miss, and Ray really looked bad on that one. Two quick strikes on the batter. Burris to be followed by Cromartie and then White. Another pitch coming, and the ball one. Nobody on, nobody out. Third inning. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That's the fourth strikeout for Larry Christenson. And coming up is Cromartie, a strikeout victim to start the game. The patches of sunlight that were evident at the start of the contest have disappeared now, and all is fair. Warren Cromartie at the dish, a left-handed hitter. He takes ball one.
Well, we'll just see how the Phillies play now. This is the first time they've played in this series with a lead, and we'll just see what it does for their confidence.
Two teams will play here again tomorrow afternoon if Philadelphia wins. Otherwise, Montreal will be free until Tuesday when they play in either Houston or Los Angeles. There's a strike call to the batter, 1-1. Christensen's fastball is a good one today. He brings home another. Cromartie hits it into left, a base hit. Cromartie evens up the hits at 3 apiece as he went the other way with the ball, and he is that sort of hitter.
He uses the whole field, Jack. He looked like it was a breaking ball, and he just reached out and poked it between short and third on the line and put a man on first base where they're going to try to do something again. I look for Dawson. You know, he hasn't done too much in this series, and if they keep testing him with men on base, the Phillies could still be in trouble.
The batter is Jerry White. He struck out his first time. He can run. Tough to get on the double play. A fly ball pretty well hit into center. Lonnie Smith gets to it. Has it for the out. Smith is not the best center fielder in baseball.
Well, it's tough when you go out there and try to play center field after Gary Maddox plays out there because he's one of the best. And they have a nickname for Maddox here in Philadelphia. They call him the Secretary of Defense, and he really covers that big outfield out there very easily.
Here's Andre Dawson. And Christensen's going to have to challenge him. A runner on at first, Cromartie, 2 out. Third inning, Phil's on top 2-1. Dawson grounded out his first time. Hit 24 home runs during the season. First pitch is a ball.
And Andre Dawson is going to get better. When he learns the strike zone, I believe you're going to see his batting average go up and his home run output go up.
Big, strong right-handed batter. He swings and fouls it back. He was late with that one. He whistled it back into the press box.
Right now, he's a slasher. He likes to swing at the ball. He likes to hit. He doesn't like to walk, but he's got a great body. He's tall. He's about 190 pounds, and he goes after it.
He's the only National League player this year to hit over 20 home runs and also steal more than 20 bases. The pitch. Swing and a miss at a bad breaking ball. Puts Dawson in the hole, 1-2. There's the pitch you're talking about, Joe.
He has swing in mind every time that pitcher winds up.
With 1 out, Cromartie singled. He's at first with 2 out. The Phil's lead, 2-1, top of the third. Another pitch. Christensen steps off. A lead by Cromartie. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He chased a bad breaking ball low. 2 strikeouts in the inning and 5 in the game for Christensen. Montreal leaves the runner, and they have stranded 2. Now we're in the middle of the third inning. The score, Philadelphia 2 and the Expos 1.
A lot of people are drinking.
Joe Torre, if you were forced to pick a winner in this game right now, you'd say Philadelphia. Larry Christensen pitching well. They've got some momentum going. And in addition, they have the lead.
Well, I said before the game started, I just felt Philly was going to win. I picked the score like 9-6 with a few home runs, nothing fancy, but Christensen's given them a good pitching performance right here, and if he could just stay strong for a few more innings where they can get into their bullpen with a McGraw or a Reed, they might be in pretty good shape.
Pete Rose walked his first time, takes ball 1. Pete Rose, like them going, and in addition, they have the lead.
Well, I said before the game started, I just felt Philly was going to win. I picked the score like 9-6 with a few home runs, nothing fancy, but Christensen's given them a good pitching performance right here, and if he could just stay strong for a few more innings where they can get into the bullpen with a McGraw or a Reed, they might be in pretty good shape.
Peter Rose walked his first time, takes ball 1. Peter Rose, like the umpire, he is bare sleeved on a chilly afternoon in Philadelphia.
Takes it a strike call, 1-1. Rose, McBride, and Schmidt. It's even 3 apiece. The Expos made an error and it cost them a run. The Phillies lead 2-1. Rose leading off. Jumps back from ball 2. Peter Rose has 3,697 career hits. Led the league in hits again this year. Swings, skies it in the left into the corner. It's curving and going foul as Francona chases after it and runs into the wall out there. His elbow on the wall. He tried too hard. He tries to pull himself back together, and they check his well-being. He tried too hard, Joe.
Well, that's the only way he knows how to play. I know that's the way his father played. Luckily, he broke the fall a little bit with his hands, but he hit that wall pretty hard.
Trainer comes out to talk to him.
He almost wound up with a seat in the stands.
He hit his right elbow, evidently, more than anything else. And the count to Rose is 2-2 as Pete leads off here in the bottom of the 3rd. Remember, the American and National League Championships begin Tuesday, the 13th. Decisive games leading up to the World Series, all broadcast live on the CBS Radio Network. Ground ball to the right side, fielded by Manuel. Rose is out, 1 gone. The League Championship Series, the best of 5 in each league, beginning October 13th on most of these stations. Keep up with the best in baseball, and hear it here. Rose grounds out to start the 3rd. McBride flied to center, and the Bake is up now. Like it when you call him
Arnold, no, he doesn't like that.
With 1 out, ball 1.
And we imitate his walk, too, because he looks like he's held together with some thread, and it looks like he just fall apart like one of those bared puppets.
Till he hits the ball.
And then he scoots.
He's batting with 1 out. Ray Burris delivers and gets an off-speed pitch in there for a called strike.
It's like he's wearing his bedroom slippers out there, too. He's not wearing spikes. He's wearing a soft bottom shoes because he's had some knee problems over the years.
Next pitch to McBride. He swings and misses. That puts him in the hole 1-2. Mike Schmidt waits on deck. Phillies getting some hometown support here this afternoon. They lead 2-1 in the 3rd. Rose is grounded out, and now McBride swings in a high fly ball foul behind 3rd into the seats. Not much room to chase foul balls in this part. Not as much as in Montreal, and that was a factor when Warren Cromartie was able to catch the foul ball off the bat of Gary Matthews.
That was funny on that fly ball that Bake just hit down a left field line. Terry Francona took about 4 steps and just waved his arms as if to say, I tried that once.
He's a quick learner. Dawson is very deep in center field. McBride strikes out on a low breaking ball. And Ray Burris gets his 2nd strikeout. I've never seen Dawson play so deep, Joe. Usually he cheats in and goes back on the ball.
Well, with nobody on base, he wants to try to stay away from the extra base hit, and he just feels that he can cut the gaps that way. And to keep the guy at first base, it's going to probably take 2 more hits to score him.
Let's pause 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
1360 WIR, WIR FM Mount Carmel, 70 degrees at 4 o'clock.
Ray Burris is in charge again. He's retired the first 2 and pitches to Schmidt. Ball 1. Schmidt bumps it into a force out, started by the shortstop in the opening inning.
It was interesting to hear Jim Fanning talk about walking Schmidt last night because of the last couple of years, Schmidt has really been an Expo killer, and that's basically why he's done it.
Here's one sailing all the way back to the screen. Low and outside and all the way back, ball 2. In the Montreal 2nd, a leadoff double by Carter, a 2-out single by Speier, gave the Expos a run. In the Phillies second, a base hit by Matthews, a base hit by Moreland, a 1-out hit by Trillo, a throwing error by Dawson. And the Phillies have a 2-1 lead. Mike Schmidt took strike one. Schmidt, who led the league in home runs with 31, also batted .316. Most power hitters have a lower batting mark than that. The right-hander goes to work, brings it home. Schmidt jumps back from ball three. 3-1.
He's still my choice for most valuable player in the National League, Jack. 91 runs batted in, and of course the strike necessitating missing 7 weeks of the season.
And a very good third baseman. The 3-1 pitch. Strike call. He took one that he wishes he had back again.
I think he was looking off speed, and Burris threw him a fastball.
3-2. Mike Schmidt waiting. And he looks for his first hit in this series. Ball 4 puts him out. Second walk by the Montreal hurler who pitched to Gary Matthews. Matthews got a base hit and scored in the second inning. And he's saying to himself, well, you can pitch around Schmidt once, twice, 3 times, but I'm going to get you sooner or later.
And Schmidt is over there. If he thinks that they're not going to watch him, he might try to steal second base.
Schmidt used to be a very adept base stealer. Not so much as of late. He just doesn't try it. A runner on at first, 2 out. Matthews takes ball 1. We're in the home half of the third inning. After 3 innings out in Los Angeles, the Dodgers lead Houston 3-1. Trying to get back into the hunt. The next to Matthews. Up high, ball 2. New baseball goes to the mound. At 34,000 for the first game in Olympic Stadium, 45,000 last night. And difficult to estimate the crowd here, something over 30,000 today here in Philadelphia. Runner at first, 2 out. Gary Matthews at the plate, swings and a fly ball into righty off the end of the bat. The ball may drop. It's a hit. Jerry White throws it back into second, and his first and third with 2 out. That ball fooled him as Matthews plunked it off the end of the bat. And White thought it was going to come right to him. He should have caught it.
Yeah, he didn't break right away for that ball, but he was fortunate enough to be able to jump up and keep it from bouncing over his head and causing him another run.
First and third with 2 out. A walk to Schmidt, a base hit by Matthews, the 4th Philadelphia hit. Keith Moreland, who singled and scored in the second inning, is up there now.
Phillies would like some breathing room right here. They'd like Moreland to get a base hit, give him a couple of run lead.
He might drive in at 3. The pitch in the dirt, blocked nicely by Gary Carter. It's tough to throw anything past Carter at the plate. Either one he's catching or has a bat in his hand.
He's a young man with a great future. He's the heir apparent, obviously, to Johnny Bench, because Bench was the perennial all-star catcher, and it looks like Carter's in that mold right now.
Here's another one to Moreland. 2 on, 2 out. Just misses low. Ball 2. And Burris is in a 2-out jam. Phillies already leading 2-1 here in the third. Schmidt comes down the line from third base. Matthews leads off first. Next pitch. Swing and a high fly ball into right center. Called for by Jerry White. And with 2 out, he has it. The inning is over. No runs. 1 hit, a walk, and 2 left. Have been played here in Philadelphia, and the home club is on top 2-1. Gary Carter will lead it off for Montreal. He doubled and scored in the second. Carter has had 3 out of 8 in the series. Right-handed pull hitter. Larry Christenson is the pitcher. Bounces one, ball 1. This is one I've noticed in the past, Joe Torre, that Larry Christenson, the second time around, 4th or 5th inning, will go away from his hard stuff and start using that off-speed pitch, and sometimes lose his effectiveness.
Well, he likes to go back and forth, change the pattern the second time through the lineup and then go back to his opening game plan right at the end where he feels he can keep the opposing club from sitting on any one pitch.
Carter, Parrish, and Francona will bat for Montreal. The pitch, swing, and a fly ball into left center. Coming on is Lonnie Smith. He gets under it and has it for the out. Carter hit it high in the air into left center. And that Philadelphia bench, I'd hold my breath every time he goes after the ball out there.
Yeah, they used to put people in for defense for him when he was starting last year over Lazinski, so they're not comfortable with him playing the outfield.
Larry Parrish flied to right his first time. Right-handed hitter. Strike, and Christenson popped one by him. Christenson has struck out 5 in the game and walked none. Delivers, swing, and a changeup and a fly ball into left for Gary Matthews. He's right there and has it 2 out.
Well, Christenson seems to be keeping the ball off the fat part of the bat, which is really all you want to do. You don't necessarily want to strike people out, but this ball club, which has had confidence against the Phillies, obviously, have been swinging the bat, but they just haven't been hitting the ball in a good part of the bat.
If the 2 teams play tomorrow, Scott Sanderson will work for Montreal, a right-hander, against Dickie Knowles, a right-hander. With 2 out, Francona is up. Swings and misses an off-speed pitch. Strike 1.
Another first pitch swing.
2 out. Carter and Parrish have been retired. Francona grounded out his first time. Now a strike call and a fastball, and Christenson has the opposition leaning.
I'm sure today for Dallas Green it's going to be staff. Tomorrow it'll be staff, and then Sunday they give Carlton the ball and say it's all yours.
Here it comes, and Francona jumps back, ball 2. Terry Francona, whose dad Tito played many years in the big leagues, primarily with Cleveland. A ball makes it 2-2.
Terry told me his folks had trouble getting the flight here to Philadelphia, so instead of coming for the remainder of the series, they went back to Pennsylvania to watch on TV.
Or listen to CBS.
Hopefully listen to CBS. They'll turn the sound off television and turn us on.
There's a foul off the foot of the batter. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Christenson brings home another, working rapidly. Ooh, it just missed. What was wrong with that pitch? Ball 3, 3-2. Outfield to the left for Francona, who hit only 1 big league home run this season. And he went around on a bad ball and struck out. That is the 6th strikeout for Christenson. Francona didn't like the call. That's 5 in a row set down by the Philadelphia hurler. It'll be the bottom 3 in the home club's lineup. Going into the bottom of the 4th inning. Philadelphia 2, Montreal 1. We go into the home half of the 4th in Philadelphia with the Phils on top. The score 2-1 over Montreal. For an update on the Houston Dodger game, let's go to Jerry Coleman and Ralph Kiner in Los Angeles.
At Dodger Stadium, we've gone through 4 innings of play, and the Dodgers sit on top 3-1. A run-scoring double by Dusty Baker in the first inning, followed by a 2-run homer by Steve Garvey, put the Dodgers on the board for 3 runs, and a solo shot in the 3rd inning by Art Howe of the Houston Astros put them on the board. The score right now as we move to the 5th inning, Dodgers 3, Astros 1. Bob Knepper still in there for Houston, Bert Hooten in there for the Dodgers. And now let's go back to Jack Buck and Joe Torre.
Here's a smash past first base into right field by Larry Bowa, leading off in the 4th. He is safe at second base. Warren Cromartie couldn't get down on that hard hit ball, and Jerry White did a good job to hold him to only a double.
Really did, but that ball went under Cromartie's glove, Jack. He should have had it. He just didn't get the glove down in time. It went underneath the glove, and as you say, White did a good job in keeping it from going into the corner and rattling around out there.
Larry Bowa, who had flied out his first time up, pulled it past first base, a leadoff double, and the 5th Philadelphia hit.
And Pete Rose is back up on the steps, cheering the guys on.
Manny Trillo singled a homer run his first time. And there they go in the Montreal bullpen once more. It's the second inning out of 4 that the Phils have put the leadoff man on, and they threaten to add to their 2-1 lead. Manny Trillo, very good at moving runners along, takes ball 1 inside.
Now you have to decide, do you want to move him over to third base for the pitcher, or do you want to try to knock him in yourself? So it's probably left up to a situation where Manny has to make that decision on how he hits against Burris.
Bowa takes a good lead at second. Trillo spins away from ball 2. Stan Bunsen, a right-hander, warms up for the visiting Expos. 2-1, the Phillies lead here in the bottom of the 4th, and they put their leadoff man on at second. They haven't had many extra base hits in this entire series. Bowa has started the 4th with a double to right. And Ray Burris is behind on the count, and evidently on the ropes the way Bunsen is warming up in the bullpen. Next pitch to Manny Trillo. Misses inside, ball 3.
It's even a better situation. If Trillo walks, then there's no other way to go but to have Christenson sacrifice.
Trillo may be swinging on 3-0. Probably not, but Ray Burris, the pitcher, has to consider that possibility. Strike, 3-1. He was taking all the way, and he wanted to strike. He didn't want to walk. He wants to swing down. Bowa on at second base. This would be a good pitch to start the runner. Burris steps off. Speier wants to talk it over with the pitcher.
That looks like a mix-up on a play, because the shortstop usually puts on the pickoff play, or the catcher, and they just want to make sure they're all thinking the same way. Again, it's interesting how the defense is deployed out there. Manuel is he's playing, as I say, on AstroTurf, you play toward the middle a lot more. You feel you can cut that ball off if it goes in the hole, but they're giving Trillo a big hole between first and second.
Bowa takes his lead. He started this home half of the 4th with a double. 3-1 to Manny Trillo. Burris has the sign. Bowa dances around the pitch. Swing and a foul. It's 3-2 as it came back to the screen. And a new one to the mound. And Larry Christenson waiting on deck. The Phillies trying to stay alive for tomorrow, at which time they'll play here at 1 o'clock Eastern time. And pitch Dickie Knowles against Scott Sanderson. Bowa on at second, nobody out. Speier trying to keep him close. Here is a long look, and now the 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. The third walk by Ray Burris. And Larry Christenson is up, and the whole world expects a sacrifice attempt.
Now it's the old cat and mouse game, Jack. You're going to put the play on, which means that the third baseman will charge, the shortstop will break the third, and hope to get the lead runner. The quarterback in this situation is Chris Speier. He just gave the whole infield, including the pitcher, the sign on what play they're going to use.
Christensen struck out his first time, but he is a very good hitting pitcher. Cromartie comes way in at first. Parrish in at third. And off the stretch. Here's a pickoff play at second, and the runner gets back with no tag. Phillies threatening to add to their 2-1 lead here in the 4th.
And if you're Montreal here, you want to make sure you get an out. You don't want to have a big inning. You want to stay away from giving away big innings early. So if they put a play on, they're going to have to be sure they're going to get the lead runner, or else just settle for an out, because you don't want them to blow you out this early in the game.
A couple of good runners. Larry Bowa at second. Manny Trillo at first. Next pitch, he's going to bunt, and he took a strike. That's a tough base running play. Bowa dances way off second base as the shortstop had gone over to cover third. He better watch Andre Dawson coming in behind him from center field.
See, when you put the play on, you have the shortstop breaking toward third, the third baseman coming in, the first baseman charging in, the second baseman going to first base, and the pitcher coming straight in, which means there's nobody at second base. So that's why Bowa can get as big a lead as he wants. And there's another play, the normal bunt play, where everybody just stays back and looks for the ball to be bunted hard.
Now the pitch to Christensen, and he bunts it down the first baseline. Foul. Tried to bunt it down the first baseline, and that's strike 2.
So they've tried one of each play now. They've tried the pickoff, they've tried the charge, and they tried the weight back.
Attorney Mike Shannon, who works with me during the regular season, really hates this play, and he's convinced me. I've seen it backfire so often. I've seen it fail so often. I really think you're better off trying something else. I don't know what.
I like the basic play. I like to get an out. You know, you get too fancy, as I say, you get in a lot of trouble. And especially if you have somebody up at the plate who can handle a bat. When the guys charge, you want that guy to swing away because there are a lot of holes in that infield when they start running around out there.
First and second, nobody out. Burris steps off the rubber to see if the Phillies would tip their hand. You get the runners on at first and second and nobody out. You've got a player like Christensen who can handle the bat a little bit. A hit and run with a runner like Bowa is really not a bad play.
Right. Well, it necessitates the AstroTurf, these synthetic turfs is what necessitated putting all these plays in.
0-2 the count, the pitch. He's going to bunt, and he does, and it's caught by Carter, throws to third out, over to first. That's a double play. What a play by the catcher, Carter, now.
He caught it in the air, I believe. This could wind up being a triple play here somewhere.
I think he caught it in the air, in which case, the play at third means nothing, and the play at first means nothing. And they should tag Bowa here before it goes any further. Well, Carter caught that ball in the air for the out, and the play at third meant nothing. The throw to first would have doubled up Manny Trillo.
They have to go tag Manny Trillo at second right now.
Carter did catch that ball in the air, and it should be a double play, and Bowa should be back at second base. Well,
or tag Bowa out for a triple play.
Now they call it a triple play.
He caught it.
He caught it in the air in shades of the Philadelphia-Houston group arm a year ago. That's a triple play. It was caught in the air by Carter. The Phillies aren't arguing about it a bit. And then Carter threw third base, which really didn't mean a thing. Then Parrish threw across to first, and that doubled the man off first. So if Bowa gets back to second base unmolested, he should be at second with two outs.
That's right, but I think they wind up tagging Bowa. What's interesting is Carter, knowing he caught the ball in the air, elected to throw to third base where there was nobody standing.
I said they weren't going to argue about it. Now they are arguing about it. If I were the umpire, I would end up with Bowa at second base and two out. How about you, Joe?
Right. I didn't even notice if they had gone to tag Larry Bowa, because that was the only way he could be out.
I didn't see anybody tag him.
I didn't either.
Now the umpires have to talk it over. Gary Carter made a tremendous play behind the plate and caught the ball fair before it hit the ground. That was one out. He threw to third. That didn't mean a thing. Parrish threw to first, and Cromartie stepped on the base, and that should have been a double play. But that would leave Bowa out at second base with two outs. Now all of the umpires are going to huddle to talk it over. This is just like that Philadelphia-Houston play, only last year was the pitcher who either caught or trapped the ball.
Well, I don't know if Chub Feeney's here to make this decision or not.
There are two out, and Bowa's at second. Now Jim Fanning says, explain it to me.
That's the only mystery of this whole thing, Jack, is why Carter, knowing he caught it in the air, throw to third base.
He knew he caught it in the air. If anybody knew it, he did. He made a dandy play and threw to third. That didn't mean a thing. Parrish threw to first. That doubled Trillo off of first base. That left Bowa still alive. He was standing at third, and nobody tagged him with the ball. He then sneaked back to second base, and there he is with two out as the argument continues. Now involving Jim Fanning, the Montreal manager. There will be a runner at second base, two out. The leadoff man, Lonnie Smith, will be up, and I'm not going to write it down on my score sheet yet.
I have an empty box there myself.
I think the umpire's got it right, Joe.
Here comes Vern Rapp.
He's out there along with Ozzie Virgil and others, and the umpire's going to talk it over one more time. This is just like Philadelphia and Houston, where they had a couple of these.
This is always fun. This is where you'd like to go home and just wait for a decision to be made. There's Bruce Fremming in the middle of the field. He's between...
Bruce Fremming was involved in one of those down in Houston on the play in right field, where Mike Schmidt was doubled off. I remember Ed Fargo was the first base umpire.
The way Billy Williams is trying to explain it to Ozzie Virgil and Jim Fanning, it looks like Bowa's going to be staying at second base.
Bruce Fremming's probably saying, why does this happen to me? He's talking it over with Frank Pulley. Billy Williams, who is the crew chief, is explaining it to the Expos.
See, and looks like Pulley's
Jerry
explaining
Crawford is talking to Vern Rapp, shooting partner.
And Pulley's explaining it to Frumming, see? And then when they get together, then they'll explain it to each other, and then they'll flip a coin.
Can you whistle, Joe? I'd like to explain all this to the umpires down there. If they'd only tagged Bowa, it would have been a triple play.
No problem.
And he was standing on third base. And then nobody called time. Of course, there were people all over the field. Maybe one of the umpires did call time. And now the umpire, Bruce Frumming, who dust off the plate, is going to be confronted again by Mr. Fanning. The ball was popped up in the air. It just went about head high. Then it was caught by Gary Carter before it hit the deck. The Expos are going back on the field. Bowa will be at second base with 2 men out. The Phillies still leading 2-1. And the play went from Carter to Parrish to Cromartie for the double play involving Manny Trillo at first, and Larry Bowa sneaked back into second base. Second baseman take the throw, Manuel at first base. Now the public address announcer explains it to the crowd. And Ray Burris is going to pitch to Lonnie Smith with a runner at second, 2 out. Oh, big rhubarb here.
Well, I hope the Franconas are listening to us on CBS, because we explained it the only way that it was possible, and we got it right.
All he had to do, talking about the Expos, was tag Bowa, and it would have been a triple play. The ball was caught in the air by Carter. That was 1 out. He threw to Parrish at third. He stepped on the base, but that meant nothing because there was no force out in effect. Parrish threw across the diamond. Jerry Manuel took the throw at second base, and that doubled Trillo off. Meanwhile, Bowa was standing at third base. Then he went back to second base, and the umpire said, okay, there you are. Runner at second, 2 out.
And the umpires are still talking about it. Uh-oh, hold on. Here comes Frank Pulley and Billy Williams. Now they got a new wrinkle to this thing.
Something else.
And John Kibler. Here comes John. Now they don't know.
Bruce Frumming tells Billy Williams what the ruling is. Now John Kibler is also involved. Looks like Kibler is starting an argument with the other umpire. Oh, boy.
How do you expect us managers to get along with these guys? They can't get along with each other.
Frank Pulley appears to be placating everybody out there with his explanation of the play.
And Chris Speier is explaining it to Larry Bowa at second base also.
You got Kibler, Frumming, Williams, and Pulley all talking it over. Terry Crawford at third base, the umpire just minding his own business. And Terry Tate is really out of it. He's out in the left field area. He stayed out of it altogether. There comes Billy Williams into the home plate area again. He's accosted by Bruce Frumming. He said, now wait a minute.
It looks like Billy Williams just threw Bruce Frumming out of the game.
Okay, there they go. Back to their positions. Bowa's at second with 2 out. And the batter is Lonnie Smith, and the Philly lead is still only 2-1. At least you can understand the final solution to this problem. A year ago in Houston, they made a new rule to fit the situation. Lonnie Smith is 0 for 2. He swings and pops it up. So Philadelphia is going to end up with nothing. The second baseman, Manuel, staggers and makes the catch, and the inning is over. What a weird frame that was. No runs, 1 hit. A walk, a double play, 1 left. Philadelphia has left 5. And after 4 innings here in Philly, at the end of the 4th inning, the score is the Phils 2, the Expos 1. 4 innings have been played here in Philadelphia. That was some discussion. It is constantly amazing how people who played this game all their life, Joe, end up being confused about situations. But what happens to base runners is frequently they don't know what happened at the plate For example, Bowa did not know that Carter caught the ball while it was still in the air.
Right, but Bowa had nothing else to do, and they can only respond or react off what the umpire calls. If the umpire called him out, then he's stuck. But he didn't see the umpire call an out at home plate, so he's got to go under the assumption that it was on the ground.
Then you put your finger on it. The confusion was compounded when Carter threw to third for no reason.
And he's the only guy in the park, aside from watching the replays on television and the umpires who were out on the field, not the home plate umpire, who saw him catch the ball. And now he throws to third, so maybe they're saying to themselves, now maybe I didn't see what I thought I saw.
Had the ball struck the ground, it still would have been a double play and a runner on at second base. Here's the pitch to Speier, starting the fifth inning strike call. And another thing about it, had Carter not caught the ball, it would have gone foul, and that would have been strike three.
That's right.
Now strike call to Speier, and that's strike two. He singled and drove home the Montreal run in the second inning. Then the Phillies came back with two of their own. Phillies on top, 2-1. We're in the fifth. Montreal leads 2-0. The pitch, Speier held up, took a ball. Speier, Manuel, and then the pitcher Burris is due, and we may have a pinch hitter. Larry Christenson has struck out a half dozen in the first 4 innings. The pitch is a strike, and he's out. Speier argues about the pitch, thought it was high. And that is 7 strikeouts, and that's 6 in a row set down by the Philadelphia hurler. I want to tell you, when Bruce Fleming calls you out today, you know you're out. He looks like Dutch Rennert the way he's umpiring behind the plate.
He's trying to keep warm.
Up now is the second baseman, Manuel. Struck out his first time, ball 1. Phil's about hit. The Expos 5-3. The Expos have made the only error. It cost them a run. There's a breaking ball. Manuel bailed out. It got in there. A strike call. 1-1. Be crazy to throw this fellow a fastball with you.
He likes to hit the fastball.
Here's a high pop fly into short right. Bake McBride tracks it down near the line. Fair ball. Makes the catch. 2 out. That's 7 in a row. And the pitcher, Burris, will bat for himself.
I tell you, the long inning didn't affect Christensen, because he was involved in that whole controversial play by bunting the ball, but he had a long time to wait before he went on that mound again.
It was a crazy argument. And I think Joe Torre and I both concur that the umpire has got it right. There are 2 out, and Burris takes ball 1. He fanned his first time. And Larry Christensen is dominating this affair. Burris was going to bunt, took a ball 2. Where will you be on the eve of the World Series? Wherever you are, tune in CBS Radio for the 1981 World Series preview with Win Elliott. Get set for the exciting days ahead. The preview on Monday evening, October 19th. Then live coverage of the World Series on most of these stations. Hear it here. There's ball 3. Christensen wouldn't walk the pitcher, would he?
I'm sure that's when pitchers really get themselves in trouble. They start aiming the ball. I know he's not going to swing, so all I have to do is throw a strike, and they go, whoops.
He's retired 7 in a row. He hasn't walked anybody. There's a strike, and it's 3-1. We're in the fifth. The Bills lead Montreal 2-1. The Bills trying to win to live for another day. Daylight contest tomorrow. Strike, 3-2. Come on back, says the umpire. Waiting on deck, it's Cromartie. A full count of 3-2, and the Philadelphia hurler really pumped that last one in there. Strike 3 call. 8 in a row set down by Christensen. He was behind on the count 3-0, came back and got him, and picks up his 8th strikeout in 5 innings. And now in the middle of the 5th inning, the score is Philadelphia 2, the Expos 1. Bottom of the 5th inning, Pete Rose will be first up, for the Phils are on top 2-1. And now for an update on the Houston Dodger game, let's go to Jerry Coleman and Ralph Kiner in Los Angeles.
Well, after the Dodgers took the lead in an RBI double by Dusty Baker and a 2-run home run by Steve Garvey in the first inning against Bob Nipper, Houston got one back and a home run by Art Howe. Dodgers have had scoring opportunities in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings, leaving a runner at third base in the 3rd, a runner at second in the 3rd. They also had a runner at second in the 4th, and a runner at second in the 5th inning. It stands at 3-1 the Dodgers As we go to the top of the sixth inning, Bert Hooten's still on the mound. Now this is Ralph Kiner for Jerry Coleman. Back to Jack Buck and Joe Torre in Philadelphia.
Thank you, Ralph. So evidently they haven't had the sort of rhubarbs that we've had here. Ray Burris, the pitcher from Montreal. This is anybody's contest. It's 2-1 Phillies. They've out-hit Montreal 5-3. First up for the Phils will be Pete Rose. He has walked and grounded out. Now we can't find the umpire. Bruce Fleming, the plate umpire, has disappeared. Bruce, here he comes. Comes out of the dugout now. And Pete Rose will be first up. Rose, McBride, and Schmidt for the Phils. They've left 5 and hit into a double play. Pete Rose has batted almost 12,000 times during his career. He has only struck out 990 times. Swings and misses, strike 1. And he led the league in hits again this year, and that broke Stan Musial's record for most years leading the league in base hits. A foul and then strike 2. We said before, some people resent Pete Rose for whatever reasons. But if you watch him play with any degree of regularity, you have to have nothing but admiration for him. Here it comes. Swing and a fly ball into left center field. Andre Dawson will take care of that. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Next on Pete's list of targets, the number of hits by Henry Aaron, 3,771. Pete Rose will catch him next year. Bake McBride is 0 for 2, and he bats. And the delivery to McBride. Swing and a foul. Strike 1. And the next pitch to the left-handed batter, a swing and a foul. And that's strike 2. Burris would like to get this man and then take on Mike Schmidt with the bases empty. The Husky right-hander of the Montreal team, Ray Burris, brings it home, and it's a ball low inside. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Each team scored their runs in the 2nd inning. The Phils lead 2-1. McBride takes ball 2 inside. Two balls, 2 strikes. To Bake McBride. And the next pitch. That's ball 3. Burris has walked 3 men in this contest. McBride uses a very late bat. He waits. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. I was just about to tell you, he's from Fulton, Missouri, the home of Westminster College, and that's where Winston Churchill delivered his famous Iron Curtain speech. Then McBride struck out, so I can't tell you that. That for Burris is his 3rd strikeout. And Mike Schmidt will indeed bat with the bases empty. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. He hits some majestic home runs when he connects. We've seen home runs in this park that Schmidt and Luzinski have hit that have been awesome. A swing and a miss, strike 1. Burris keeping it close. Top of the order will be up in the Montreal 6th inning. The Expos won 3-1 last night and 3-1 the day before. Trailed 2-1 here, a late scoring series. Now a ball to Schmidt. 1-1. Unless you really concentrate on watching the bat, it's difficult to realize how fast, how quick Schmidt swings with 2 out. Swing and a bouncer to short and a pass to the shortstop Speier. Into left center. Schmidt whistled one on the AstroTurf to the left of Chris Speier. And that brings Gary Matthews up with a runner at first and 2 out. That's the 6th hit for Philadelphia, and they have had men on base in each half inning.
That was just a normal ground ball to shortstop, Jack, except that when they play in Schmidt, they're playing him on a hard pull basis, and the ball just went to Speier's left.
Outfield straight away with Matthews up. He has 2 hits. He started the 2-run rally in the 2nd inning, and he has some power. Ball 1 low. This is a hard-working baseball player, Gary Matthews. Dawson deep and straight away. Francona plays in the pull and left. Here he comes. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Burris doesn't seem to let the pressure bother him today. In fact, all pitchers have responded well in this series.
It's been a well-played series for the most part, especially by the Montreal Ball Club.
Parrish deep behind the base at third. Here comes the 1-1 delivery. Francona plays in the pull and left. Here he comes. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Burris doesn't seem to let the pressure bother him today. In fact, all pitchers have responded well in this series.
It's been a well-played series for the most part, especially by the Montreal Ball Club.
Parrish deep behind the base at third. Here comes the 1-1 delivery. Schmidt at first. Draws a throw, and he's back in time. Burris had to step off the rubber before throwing over there. He wanted to make sure he didn't balk. Now Schmidt leads away again. Here it comes. Swing and a foul. Rolling back to the left. Joe Jerry, I suppose it's just asking too much of a fellow like Schmidt, who plays every day, to not only do what he does with the bat and defensively, but also steal bases as he used to do. It's just too wearing for a player, isn't it?
Well, it is, except that Mike is a very strong individual, and it wouldn't surprise me him try to steal a base.
He takes the lead. Matthews takes a ball that whistled under his chin. 2-2.
He's so great, as they say. He's improved in the field. He's become a much better hitter. Sometimes he lets that run after this pitch.
Here's a foul as Matthews really hammered at it. It stays 2-2. The ball whistled back to the screen.
Every time he gets up to the plate, he realizes the chance they're going to pitch around him, and sometimes he doesn't get up there and is as aggressive as he should be.
Schmidt at first with 2 out. Bottom of the 5th. Phillies 2, Expos 1. Here's the next one. Up high, and now the runner will go off of first base. Cromartie drops behind him down there. And the on-deck batter is Keith Moreland. Burris tugs at the cap and now stands on. Schmidt takes his lead. He is going. 3-2 pitch. Foul. We'll do it again. Into the seats off to the right. Mike Schmidt goes back to tag up at first base. And a new one to the mound to the Montreal right-hander. Game has moved along. We're in the bottom of the 5th now. Here it comes with the runner going, a swing and a foul almost to the same spot off to the right. And Burris will have to come in with another 3-2 delivery.
Burris has pitched very well. I think the Expo Ball Club has been very fortunate only to be behind by the count of 2-1, because the Phillies had a couple of opportunities to score and try to break this thing open, but Burris has been able to pitch very well in crucial situations.
Philadelphia stranded 5, hit into a double play. They have 6 hits. They've been given 3 walks. Here comes the 3-2 pitch with a runner going, a swing and a foul. Back to the right once more. And it's getting to be a habit with these two.
The only one that's working hard is Schmidt. Running that 90 feet and then returning.
Goes back to first base. It is the rule that after a foul ball, the runners must return and touch the base. Another 3-2 pitch. The runner going. Strike call. A breaking ball caught him looking. Burris gets his 4th strikeout. The Phillies strand their 6th runner. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. And at the end of 5 innings, the score is the Phillies 2 and Montreal 1. Well, if the Expos are going to eliminate Philadelphia this afternoon, Joe Torre, this would be the time to go to work.
Right now, they got Larry Christenson going into his 6th inning, and I'm sure this is his longest outing since he's come back off the disabled list. So if they're ever going to get to a Larry Christenson with the best part of their order, it's right now. Because I don't know how much further Dallas is going to go with him because of the fact that he hasn't pitched a whole lot.
Nothing doing in the Philadelphia bullpen, which is occupied by Sparky Lyle and Tug McGraw and Ron Reed and Mike Froley. So evidently, Christensen has told him in the dugout he still feels strong.
Well, he's the 4th hitter that comes up in the bottom half of this inning, so we'll see what happens.
Cromartie, White, and Dawson in this frame for the Expos. Cromartie, a left-handed batter, has struck out, single to left. Christensen has fanned 8 in 5 innings. We wait for Cromartie to get set. No walks from the Philadelphia hurler. He's allowed 3 hits. Swing and a foul as Cromartie went up there hammering, strike 1. Crowd quiet as they wait to see what the Expos do in this 6th inning. Ball in the dirt, and that one glanced off the arm of Bruce Fremming, the plate umpire. He's had a tough day. Says to the catcher, Moreland, please try a little harder to catch those. There's a ground ball to second. Scooped up by Manny Trillo. Out at first.
That was an off-speed pitch. He had Cromartie reaching for the ball, and he did nothing but rake it to the second baseman. That was a big out. Get the first out in any inning is a big out.
Montreal has put their leadoff man on base only once in the 6 innings. The batter is Jerry White. He's 0 for 2. He hasn't contributed much to the Montreal offense. They'd like to have him on base ahead of Andre Dawson, who comes on deck. White jumps back as the fastball exploded under his chin.
He had good velocity in that pitch.
Sosa and Gorman loosen in the bullpen for the visitors. Here's an off-speed delivery, high outside, ball 2. White hit 3 home runs during the regular season. He's a switch hitter, batting left-handed. Swing and a foul. Bounces off the catcher toward the dugout, 2-1.
And Bruce Fremming says that's the way to do it. Keep that ball away from me.
In the 2nd inning, Gary Carter doubled, and with 2 out, Chris Speier singled him home. Then the Phillies got 2 in the bottom half of that 2nd inning. Jerry White hits it high in the air into center. Coming on is Lonnie Smith. He wants it, and he has it, 2 out. That's 10 in a row, retired by Larry Christenson. Dawson bats with the bases empty. He is grounded out and struck out. Takes a little time coming to the plate. He has his right thigh bandaged. He answers the bell every day. Christensen is breezing in this contest. Schmidt guards the line at 3rd. Dawson laid off, ball 1. Ozzie Virgil, Steve Burrows are the coaches at 3rd and 1st. Ball 2 to Dawson. He chased some bad pitches the last time up there, and he's exercising a little more patience this time.
Well, right now he's going to take it for granted it's going to be down the middle. We'll just see if Christensen throws him a fastball.
The pitch is low for ball 3.
You get to the 6th, 7th innings of ball games when it's 1 run is the difference. You got to pitch to guys like this, and Mike Schmidt and Gary Carter, just like there's a man on second base.
Dawson will be swinging. He took a strike, and it's 3-1. Gary Carter waits on deck. Christensen in a hurry. Ooh, ball 4. He almost chased it. Dawson walks with 2 out. That's the first pass given up by the Philadelphia hurler. And Gary Carter, who doubled and scored in the 2nd, comes to the plate.
Well, here's the first situation, I guess, that they've had a chance to steal a base, and we'll just see if they do it, because Christensen's got a big delivery. Of course, he tries to cut down on his leg kick to the plate when there's a man on first base. But you got a guy that can swipe the base over there, and they're one run behind, so look for it.
You think he'll be running, Joe?
I think he will, yes.
Dawson's on at first with 2 out. He takes a little time. Gary Carter is the batter. He's doubled, scored, flied out. And as Joe Torre told you earlier, he has hit 15 home runs in this park. Christensen checks Dawson. Here's the pitch. Strike call. Kept it away from him. Carter looking for a ball that he can pull. And they play him to pull. They give him right center. And a bit of the right field corner. Another throw to first, and the runner gets back. We're in the 6th. The Phillies lead Montreal 2-1. Carter gets back in. Dawson takes his lead. Christensen pitches, a swing and a base hit into left. That ball was up and in, and Carter gets his second hit. The 4th of the day for Montreal, and it gives Larry Parrish a chance to be a hero. Larry was a hot hitter during the month of September, and if you make a mistake to him, he can burn you.
Well, Parrish, as you say, he was the player of the month for the Expos in September. I think he started getting hot against our ball club. And you're in a situation now where Christensen got up with that last pitch to Carter, and just luckily he didn't hit it up in the air, because it was a good pitch to hit out of the ballpark.
This happened with 2 out, a walk, and then a hit. Still nothing doing in the Philadelphia bullpen. Parrish has flied to right and flied to left. Dawson and Carter running the bases. Tying run at second base for Montreal. They've been out hit 6-4. They trailed 2-1. Christensen's first one to Parrish. Low ball 1. Parrish is sort of a flat-footed hitter. Sometimes it looks like he's not ready. He has a pretty quick bat.
He likes to hit the fastball. He likes the ball out over the plate. And again, he tries to pull the ball, and that probably causes a lot of his problems.
Here's the pitch with 2 on, 2 out. A breaking ball is high, and that's ball 2. And Christensen digs a little hole for himself. Two out, Dawson walked, Carter singled. Here's the pitch to Larry Parrish. Swing and a high pop foul back behind the plate. Moreland has the play, and he catches it for the out. Parrish hit it straight up. And Montreal leaves 2. They have stranded 4. No runs. 1 hit, a walk, 2 left. In the middle of the 6th inning, the score is Philadelphia 2, Montreal 1. Joe Torre and Jack Buck back with you from Philadelphia, Veterans Stadium. First up is Keith Moreland in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Phils are on top 2-1. They've out-hit Montreal 6-4. Their pitcher is due to bat 4th in this inning. Sparky Lyle loosens out in the bullpen, a left-hander for the home team. Montreal leading 2-0. They need but one more victory to eliminate Philadelphia from the playoffs. Sometimes that one win is very difficult to get.
And that, especially when you have to come to this ballpark to do it.
Moreland leads off, swings and misses. Strike 1. Moreland has singled and scored and flied out.
Philadelphia would like nothing better to get an insurance run or 2 right here, because that 1 run is never safe.
Ray Burris has spanned 4, walked 3, allowed 6 hits, and throws a ball. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here comes another. Inside, and it spins the batter out of there. Nobody on, nobody out. Moreland, Bowa, and Trillo. Swing and a base hit to center. Moreland fought that ball off and sort of golfed it into center field. A leadoff single. So in 3 of the 6 innings, Philadelphia's had the leadoff man on, and they have a good hit-and-run man. Now we're going to have a pinch runner. Louis Aguayo, A-G-U-A-Y-O, is going to run for Moreland. run man is up. A lead by the runner. Boa is going to bunt. He took a ball.
This might be an indication that they are going to pinch hit for the pitcher if you're talking about sacrificing the man to second base with the 8th hitter coming up, Jack.
Aguayo is a youngster from Puerto Rico, an infielder. Little fella, pretty good runner. Cromartie holds against him. The pitch to Boa, he's going to bunt. He does. Foul. And let's pause 5 seconds for station to identify themselves on the CBS radio network.
1360 WYR, WYR FM, Mount Carmel. It's 5 o'clock.
The Phils play for the additional run. A leadoff hit by Aguayo. Ball is up. They may switch off. Here's the pitch. He's going to bunt. He took a pitch out. 2 balls and a strike.
Gary Carter was thinking along with you.
Now Burris is behind on the count, and sometimes that's an invitation to the opposition to put on the hit run.
Well, as long as Larry hits the ball on the ground, the worst they can come up with is a man on second base, which is basically what the sacrifice would have done for them anyway.
A lead by the runner. There's nobody out. Here's the pitch. The runner not going. There's a bunt. It's going foul. Fair ball fielded by Carter and out at first. Carter didn't want to take a chance on that ball rolling foul, so he grabbed it while it was still in fair territory and threw over to first base for the out. But the sacrifice is good. Play went 2-3, and the batter is Manny Trillo. Here comes Jim Fanning, Montreal manager, out of the dugout. His pitcher is due to bat 4th in the next inning. So he calls time. Trillo is the batter. The Expos have Sosa, a right-hander, and Bill Lee, a left-hander, warming up in their bullpen. Fanning arrives at the mound.
Well, he's letting them know all the possibilities right here, that even though they did sacrifice, that this is the 8th hitter, and to force the club into making a change for the pitcher, they still don't want to possibly pitch the Trillo as if there was a pinch hitter on deck. There is a base open, and there is a runner at second base, so if they're going to knock in this run, Jim Fanning wants to make sure that the Phillies earn it.
Aguayo is on at second with 1 out. And the batter is Manny Trillo. He singled, driven home a run, and he walked. He drove home a Philadelphia run in the second, then an error allowed the other run to score. Ball 1 is high. Trillo, quite a good clutch hitter. Had 36 runs batted in during the year. The outfielders are straight away. They have to play rather deep with Trillo up. It'd be difficult to throw the runner out at the plate. Burris gets set. Here's the pitch. That's a strike call, and it's 1-1. Christenson due to bat next. And the Phillies have their bullpen in motion, indicating they'll bat for Christenson if they need to get this run home. They'd like to keep him in the game, Joe, I bet.
Well, again, as I say, he hasn't pitched a whole lot, Jack, and he's thrown 6 strong innings, and you really don't know how many pitches he's thrown, how strong he is.
Next one to Trillo is inside. Two balls and a strike. Aguayo on at second base. 1 out, bottom of the 6th. The Phillies leading Montreal 2-1. Burris looks back, kicks and fires. Low outside, 3-1.
He walks him, they're going to put him on intentionally right now.
This will be the 3rd time Trillo has reached base. And it will mark the 4th walk by Burris to go with 4 strikeouts. And it will pretty much force the Phillies to take Christenson out of the game.
Well, now Jim Fanning will wait to see who comes out to hit for Larry, and if they send a left-hander out there, you might see him counter with Bill Lee as the bullpen.
George Vukovich, a left-handed batter, comes off the bench. He seems to have moved ahead of Del Unser as the #1 left-handed pinch hitter.
And he's done a good job for this ball club. And being that Dallas has got to put Bob Boone in the game anyway, he might be the one that'll pinch hit for Vukovic. Here I go managing again, right? That might have been what got me fired.
Christenson pitched 6 innings. Gave 1 run, 4 hits. He had 8 strikeouts and issued 1 walk. And Sparky Lyle will follow him to the mound. That brings Jim Fanning out again, and that's going to get rid of Ray Burris. So both starters are out, and the ubiquitous Bill Lee comes in from the bullpen. He's a character, isn't he?
If that's what ubiquitous means, yeah.
He is something. He comes stalking in like the madman from the north out of the bullpen. Long-haired, bearded left-hander, and a pretty good pitcher. You don't win 17 games 3 different years in Fenway Park as a left-hander and not be considered good.
I'll tell you, that might have made him a little crazy. Who knows? That pitching in Fenway, as you say, as a left-hand pitcher is tough.
Ray Burris leads. He pitched 5 2/3. He gave 2 runs, 7 hits. He struck out 4 and he walked 4, 1 intentionally. And Bill Lee, the left-hander, comes in. George Vukovic is due to be the batter. They could switch over to their right-handed bench, Bob Boone or somebody else. We'll wait and see if they do that. Lee is going to warm up. Well, we're well on our way to the big event. Nothing in the sports world makes for more excitement than the World Series. Remember, it all begins Tuesday, October 20th. Make a date with us for CBS Radio Sports live coverage of baseball's finest innings. The World Series, the best of 7, begins October 20th on most of these stations. Hear it here. Bill Lee will pitch to Vukovic. And evidently Vukovic is going to stay up there and bat. Joe Torre, how does he hang in there against left-handers?
Well, I haven't seen him hit a whole lot against left-handers, but I just saw Gary Maddox take his jacket off, which could be the defensive replacement in center field. He could be kept in the game. There are a lot of options that Dallas has. It's just a matter of which way he wants to play it.
Lee is warming up. He inherits a 2-on, 1-out situation. With Aguayo down at second base and Manny Trillo at first and 1 out. Bottom of the 6th, the Phillies leading Montreal 2-1. Vukovic is a long ball threat. A big, strong kid. He is yet to play regularly for Philadelphia. And we're set to go 2-on, 1 out.
I was wrong again. He's getting up there, and he's going to hit against Bill Lee.
Like you, I kind of thought Gary Maddox was out of there because you'd want him in the game for defensive purposes in the late innings.
Well, the only thing you think of here is the fact that Dallas Green probably wants his pitcher hitting 9th at this stage of the game.
2-on and 1 out. The first pitch to Vukovic. Drops low for ball 1 from Bill Lee. Lee doesn't particularly enjoy working out of the bullpen, but he can be effective as a relief hurler. Another pitch coming. Swing and a ball hit up the middle. That's a hit. Here comes Aguayo trying to score. He will score. That makes it 3-1. A left-handed pitch hitter came through.
I'll tell you, he is left-handed pretty well, Jack.
He hit that ball hard. It was a sizzler that whistled past Bill Lee. Had Lee been able to grab the ball, and he is a very good fielding pitcher, he would have had a double play for sure, but it sailed past him, and that makes it 3-1.
Well, he hit that ball very hard and right back over the mound, and Andre Dawson never even charged the ball with an idea he was going to throw to home plate. There was no play at all.
And the runner is still on at first and second with Trillo, the runner, at second base, and the top of the order up, Lonnie Smith. He is 0 for 3, and he's hit safely in his last 25 games. 2-on, still 1 out. Phillies have made 3 runs and 8 hits. First pitch. Smith swings and misses. Lee gets the sign. Here it comes. Swing and a fly ball into deep left field will be caught by Francona back at the track. He reaches and grabs it, and the runners have to stay as Francona followed with a strong throw into third.
Very strong throw. Trillo went back to tag up when he saw Terry camp under the ball, but when he broke off second, Francona made a good throw to the cutoff man.
Who's up now?
You can hear them, can't you? We haven't seen him hit right-handed in this series yet, I don't believe.
Pete Rose is up. He's a better left-handed batter than he is a right-handed hitter.
Well, mainly because he hits more that way. And I know on the Mets, Mookie Wilson, who was originally a right-hand hitter, we turned him into a switch hitter, became a better left-hand hitter because he had more practice at it.
2 on, 2 out. 1 run home here in the 6th. Phillies lead 3-1. Here it comes. Rose takes a straight call. Pete has walked, and he's 0 for 2. Bill Lee on the mound, following Ray Burris. All 3 runs charged to Burris. Another pitch coming. Swinging a line drive into right field. That ball's a hit, and another run will score. Here's the throw home by Jerry White. He is safe at the plate. It's 4-1 on a hit to right field by Pete Rose.
Well, there's a big run right there. It gives him a 3-run lead. And the only thing I didn't like to see was Vukovic just went to second base and stopped instead of forcing him to cut the ball off and get him at third, because that play was a lot closer at the plate than it really should have been.
So 2 runs are home. It's 4-1 Philadelphia. All 4 runs charged to Ray Burris, the starter. The book is finished on him. And Joe, when you look back on the score sheet, you see that Larry Bowa bunted the runner Aguayo down to second, and that set the inning up. Here it comes to McBride, a swing and a miss.
It really did, because then they put Manny Trillo on base, put 2 men on base, and the pinch hitter came through, and of course Pete Rose came through as he usually has in the past.
So they're 2 on, 2 out. 2 runs home. Philadelphia's out hit. Montreal 9-4. The Phillies lead 4-1, and here's the pitch. Swing and a foul by McBride. Bounced it off his foot. Strike 2. Well, this could mean we're going to be here tomorrow for the 1 o'clock game Eastern time with Scott Sanderson against Dickie Knowles. You would have to say Montreal has the edge in that pitching pairing.
Again, Sanderson has got great stuff, and Knowles struggled the second half, but you know, you get things going in this ballpark for this ball club, and they've been doing well here the last year or so.
Swing and a miss by McBride. And Lee gets his first strikeout. But he couldn't get Vukovic, and he couldn't get Pete Rose. 2 runs for Montreal. 3 hits and 2 left. Philadelphia is stranded 8. Well, that's the end of the 6th inning, and the score is Philadelphia 4, Montreal 1. After 6 innings in Philadelphia, the Phils lead Montreal 4-1. And for an update on the Houston Dodger game, let's go to Jerry Coleman and Ralph Kiner in Los Angeles.
At Dodger Stadium, we've gone through 7.5 innings of play. Houston still trails the Dodgers 3-1. Los Angeles got 3 runs in the top of the 1st inning. Astros got a run on the 3rd, and that's where it stayed until the 8th inning when Art Howe drew a walk from starter Bert Hooton. Hooton was pulled from the ball game in favor of left-hander Steve Howe. Howe got Dickie Thon to fly to right. He struck out Gary Woods and struck out Terry Poole to end it. So we're going into the bottom of the 8th inning. Houston has 3 more outs to go. Dodgers on top 3-1. For Ralph Kiner, I'm Jerry Coleman. Let's go back to Jack Buck and Joe Torre.
Montreal Expos will try to mount a rally here. They bring in Sparky Lyle, the Phillies do, to pitch the 7th inning. Terry Francona leads it off. He's 0 for 2. Speier and Manuel will follow. Phillies 4, Montreal 1. We're underway in the 7th, and there's a drag bunt. Fielded by Rose. Bad hop, and Francona is safe at first. A bad hop to Pete Rose. He did everything he could, but Francona flashed across the base. Rose argues with him, but I think the umpire got it right, Joe.
He was safe. The ball hit the seam of the dirt part of the infield and went to Pete's right, and as he went to get the ball, getting back to first base, he just got there a little bit too late.
A drag bunt. Francona got a little too close to first base. Rose would have made the play under ordinary circumstances. He had to race to the base, and he failed to get Francona.
He slid into the bag, but not quite soon enough.
It was bang-bang at first base. Francona was safe, and that's only the 5th Montreal hit. The batter is Speier, who has driven in their only run. He has an RBI single and a strikeout. He'll face the left-hander, Sparky Lyle. Gary Maddox is in center field now, and Vukovic stays in the game playing right field. Here at ball one. So Vukovic bats in the number 9 spot. Lonnie Smith is out. And his batting streak is probably ended. Well, it is ended. Maddox in center, Vukovic in right. Now a ball and a strike to Chris Speier. 7th inning. Throw to first, and the runner gets back. Rose returns the ball to the mound. Phillies got 2 in the 2nd. They got 2 in the 6th. And they lead 4-1. The pitch coming. Swing, and a base hit to left by Speier. And the tying run will come to the plate for Montreal. Manuel is due to hit. The first 2 men are on as Sparky Lyle is greeted with a bunt single by Francona. And Chris Speier's second hit of the game, and what a hitting star he has been, and a fielding star in this series.
He's been a big difference for that Expo ball club, and he's just, his year wasn't all that successful, but he's making up for it right now.
Ron Reed, a right-hander, is warming up for the Phillies. Rather surprised Manuel is hitting here. Right-handed batter hits it, and Schmidt steps down third, throws second, double play! Ground play by Mike Schmidt. A backhand shot, off balance. He was able to kick the third base bag, and even more off balance. He threw a strike to Trillo for a double play in second.
What a tremendous play, Jack. He just made a play going across the bag, and as an afterthought, just sort of poked at the bag with his left foot, had the presence of mind to throw to second base, get the lead runner, and all of a sudden, a potential rally that looked like it was going to bring them back in the game. Now they have a man on first base and 2 men out. What a complete athlete that Mike Schmidt is. He's got great reaction.
He made a play that brought the fans to their feet here. He was playing into guard against the bunt, so he had little time to react. He made a backhand stop, stepped on the base, and while almost falling down, threw a strike to Trillo for the double play. And suddenly there are 2 out.
And what you really have to appreciate is how he stepped on the base. He stepped on the bag, running toward the stands, and then turned around and threw to second.
So coming off the bench to hit for Montreal now is Wallach, the outfielder. Tim Wallach. He's batting for Bill Lee. Here in the 7th inning. Boy, that took the steam out of things.
Oh, boy.
Here's the pitch to Wallach. Ball 1. Even though he hit the ball hard, Joe Torre, aren't you surprised that Manuel stayed up there and hit?
Well, he's in there for his glove, and I guess that, it's Jim Fanning. That's the manager's decision. Of course, he's only hit around 200, and you have this guy who's going to pinch hit for the pitcher anyway, and I was surprised, Jack.
Now ball 1 and ball 2 to Tim Wallach. With the runner, Manuel on at first and 2 out. A throw to first, and the runner gets back. Sosa warming up in the Montreal bullpen. Tim Wallach, the batter. Bill Lee is through. Pitched the third of an inning. Allowed no runs. Here's ball 3 low. Bill Lee gave up 2 hits while he was in there and registered a strikeout. Evidently, Sosa will be the 3rd Montreal hurler. We're in the 7th, and the Phillies lead 4-1. A throw to first, and Manuel gets back in. What a play by Mike Schmidt moments ago. It was an eye popper. And now on 3-0, ball 4, and once again the tying run comes to the plate. Sparky Lyle issues a walk to the pinch hitter, Tim Wallach.
Well, Dallas wanted to use a left-hander to neutralize some of that left-handed bench strength that Fanning has, but Sparky just isn't making good pitches. His location is bad. And this is the second time this inning, as you say, that the tying run has come to the plate.
2 on, 2 out here in the 7th inning, and Warren Cromartie is up. He's 1 for 3 on the day. He's an everyday player. Left-handed pitching doesn't bother him too much. He has some power. He hit 6 home runs during the year. He takes it away high, ball 1 from the mustachioed left-hander Sparky Lyle. The fans don't like it. Lyle's in a hurry. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 2. Waiting on deck, it's Jerry White. As Lyle protects a 4-1 lead here in the 7th inning. Manuel and Wallach running the bases with 2 out. The next one to Cromartie. Strike call.
I was just very surprised Cromartie just let that pitch go by like he was taken all the way, and being the tie and run, I can't agree with that.
Here's another to Cromartie. Swing and a fly ball into left center field, and it's going to be caught. It is by Matthews. A slicing line drive, and Matthews stayed with it and caught it.
Almost overran the ball, Jack. It started curling back behind him.
Now Montreal leads 2, and they've stranded a half a dozen. No runs, 2 hits, and a walk. A double play. What a double play from Schmidt to Trillo in its 7th inning stretch time. In the middle of the 7th inning, the score is the Phils 4 and Montreal 1. First up for Philadelphia, Mike Schmidt. Always turns out that way, doesn't it, Joe? The fellow who makes the big defensive play leads off in the inning.
I'll tell you, he made a sparkler. I haven't seen many plays as good as that, and the thing that made it so great, Jack, was the fact when he made it. You know, in the 7th inning of a ball game that they had to win, and he just made the play. I can't say made it look easy, but he made it an easy play.
Elias Sosa, S-O-S-A, is the 3rd pitcher of the day for Montreal. Phillies lead 4-1. About to hit the Expos 9-6. Here we go into the bottom of the 7th. Mike Schmidt forced a runner, walked, and a single. Sosa, a right-hander, a sinker ball pitcher, brings it home. Strike at the knees. Schmidt to be followed by Matthews. Outfield deep to the left. The pitch. Swing and a high foul back and out of play. Montreal finds it easier to pitch Sosa on the road than they do at home, where the fans really get all over him. They're disenchanted with his pitching.
Those fans let you know how they feel about you. I know they were booing Larry Parrish most of the year, and it wasn't until the last month of the season they started giving him standing ovations.
Mike Schmidt leading off, bottom of the 7th. Matthews will follow. Sosa brings it in. Just missed outside. 4-1, the Phillies lead. Montreal got a run in the 2nd, driven in by Speier, following a double by Carter. And Manny Trillo singled home a run in the 2nd inning, and a throwing error by Andre Dawson allowed the other run to score. Then Philadelphia got 2 runs in the 6th. Rose drove one home, as did the pinch hitter Vukovic. There's a line drive into left field, a base hit going into the corner. Francona will try to throw him out at 2nd. Schmidt goes in, sliding with a double. Francona did all he could. He whirled blindly and threw to 2nd. Was a little bit offline, and Schmidt gets the lead off double. Sosa is greeted with a 2-base hit. He was ahead of the batter, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, he got the ball on the inside part of the plate where Schmidt could handle it, and is giving him another opportunity to score some more runs. And Ron Reed is warming up in the bullpen, and it makes you think that Dallas Green might be bringing him in to face the right-handers.
Gary Matthews chops it high toward the mound. The runner goes to 3rd, and the batter beats it out. A wild throw. Here comes Schmidt home to score. There goes Matthews to 2nd base. Everybody's safe, and it's 5-1. It'll be a hit and an error. The pitcher threw it away.
And the pitcher had no right. Sosa had no right throwing the ball to first base. There was no play on Matthews, who runs very well, but he just threw it, and I think it surprised Cromartie when he did throw, and he had no chance to flag the ball down.
Makes it 5-1 here in the 7th innings. The Phillies have 12 hits now, and Matthews went to 2nd on the error by the pitcher Sosa, the 2nd error of the day, and Gary Maddox is up for the first time. Maddox, the forgotten man here in Philadelphia.
Well, they signed Gary to a long-term contract for a lot of money, and right now he's playing caddy for Lonnie Smith.
Matthews on at 2nd, nobody out. Phillies in great shape and making it better for themselves all the while. There's a ground ball to the right side. The runner goes to 3rd. The batter's out at 1st as Manuel threw him out. And Maddox did his job.
He sure did. He got the runner over to 3rd base. There's less than 2 out, and a chance for them to pick up another run here.
The batter, Larry Bowa, and you have to be on the alert for the squeeze play. It is 5-1 in favor of Philadelphia. The infield comes in.
And with the kind of bat control Larry Bowa has, it might be even a safety squeeze. He might try to drag for a hit because you have good speed at third base, and you really don't have to start Matthews early to have him have a chance to score.
Matthews on at third, one out. Sosa steps off the rubber to see if anything's cooking, and the pitcher and catcher will talk it over.
The problem with squeezing with that left-hand hitter is you're giving that catcher a real clear view of that guy coming down the line. He can do a lot of things.
Gary Carter takes charge and talks with the shortstop Speier and the pitcher Sosa. Philadelphia's added a run here in the 7th inning, and they have a man at third with one out. Phil's on top, 5-1. Matthews at third, Bowa at the plate. And now Sosa brings it home, and a ball in the dirt, ball one. Tom Gorman, the left-hander, warms up for Montreal. He looks like a pretty good newcomer.
Well, we didn't see a whole lot of them, but they speak rather high of him. Of course, left-hand pitches are at a premium in this league.
Bowa hits it on the ground to second, right through the second baseman, and a run scores. That makes it 6-1 as Manuel looked up to see what the runner was doing, and the ball went right under his glove.
That's exactly what happened. He was peeking to see if Matthews was trying to score from third, and the ball just made its way under the glove.
He was playing in, and he had little time to react. Well, Sosa really did do his job. He got the batter to hit the ball on the ground, but it went on through. They give Larry Bowa a hit, his second of the day, and a run batted in as Matthews scored, and so the infield out by Gary Maddox pays off.
Pays off because that's just a normal ground ball to second base with the infield playing back. So the little subtle things that are done in this game help you win ball games.
Phillies have now scored 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 6th, 2 here in the 7th. They lead 6-1. And Galen Cisco, the pitching coach, talks to Sosa. Probably said, well, you did your job. Don't worry about it.
And here's a situation, Jack, where you've got the Phillies who were floating along a little bit, 2-1, really not sure what was going to happen because they haven't been playing good baseball. They break it open a little bit in the 6th and now in the 7th, and it just looks like they're looking forward.
The lead and draws the throw. 6-1 Philadelphia here in the bottom of the 7th. Sosa checks, throws to first, and they have him picked off. Bowa is chased and tagged out by the shortstop Speier. The play went 1-3-6. You could tell that Bowa was going to try to steal.
Well, they heard you say hit and run, and they thought they'd try to pick off.
So they nail Larry Bowa, as ordinarily quite a good base runner, and the bases are empty with 2 out with Trillo at the plate.
Once he made his first step, his weight was on that front foot, and he just couldn't retrace his steps back to first.
If the Phillies win today, the game will be at 1 o'clock Eastern time here mañana. And brother, do the Phillies have momentum now? Except in the pitching pairings. Scott Sanderson for Montreal against Dickie Knowles for Philadelphia. Trio with 2 out, fouls it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And, of course, things change also. Now I think the pressure switches a little bit, Jack. Tomorrow they know they have to win because otherwise they're going to have to face the monster Carlton, and you can't expect to beat him twice in 1 week.
You call him a monster and an animal so far.
I can't help it. That's what he reminds me of.
Outfield straight away with Trillo. He takes ball 2 in the dirt. Montreal missed an opportunity in the 7th inning, put their first 2 men on base, and then Mike Schmidt came up with a sparkling play. Turned it into a twin killing. The defensive play of the series thus far. Here's a bouncer foul off Trillo's foot. 2-2. And a new one to the mound.
And there might be more people out here for this game tomorrow also.
About 30,000 plus here. The Phillies drew 1,638,000, second only to the Dodgers in the National League. The Dodgers drew 2,381,000. Here's a fly ball to right for Jerry White off the bat of Trillo. Oh, there's the catch, and the 7th inning is over. But it was a productive one for the home team. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and nobody left. Philadelphia's had men on base in each half inning. That's the end of the 7th inning with the score. Philadelphia 6, the Expos 1. Ron Reed is the new pitcher for Philadelphia going into the 8th inning with the Phillies on top. 6-1. And for an update on the Houston Dodger game, let's go to Jerry Coleman and Ralph Kiner in Los Angeles.
With the Dodgers leading by a score of 3-1, the Dodgers came up in the 8th inning. Pedro Guerrero led off with a double down the left field line. Thomas then tried to sacrifice Guerrero over to third and did not succeed, leaving the runner at first base. Steve Jaeger then singled to left field to put runners at first and second. Bill Russell came through with a base hit to drive in the first run of the inning. Then a sacrifice fly by Smith drove in another. And now another driven in on a base hit by Ken Landreau. And the Dodgers are leading by a score of 6-1. This is Ralph Kiner with Jerry Coleman. And now back to Jack Buck and Joe Torre in Philadelphia.
They're stealing our stuff, Joe. It's 6-1 there and it's 6-1 here.
That is a Saturday on both coasts.
Here is the pitch from Ron Reed to Jerry White leading off in the 8th inning. It's outside ball 1. Larry Christenson started, charged with the only Montreal run, and Sparky Lyle worked the last inning. Strike called from Reed. Lyle pitched 1 inning, no runs, 2 hits, struck out none and walked 1. Reed just wants to throw strikes. There's a high foul ball behind third. Near the stand, Schmidt has no play. We are in the 8th. The Expos were in a spot at the start of the game and still are to eliminate Philadelphia, but it appears they're going to come up short. And they'll have to wait till tomorrow, but you never know. They've been out hit 12-6. White leading off, looks at one just out of the strike zone. 2-2. It'll be White, Dawson, and Carter. And Reed doesn't mind pitching to that trio at all with a 5-run lead. The big right-hander delivers, and there's a line drive into the right field corner, and that ball drops fair and bounces up against the fence. Vukovic gets it back in, and it's a leadoff double for Jerry White.
Here we go again.
That's the 7th hit for Montreal. Their batter is Andre Dawson. Those last 2 runs the Phillies got in the 7th inning loom large on the scene.
Really big, and with a club like Montreal, you're never really safe. But a 5-run lead with, you've got Tug McGraw in the bullpen also. I'd have to say that the Phillies are pretty confident about putting this one away.
Dawson is 0 for 2 with a walk. Strike called. Jerry White ripped the ball hard into the right field corner.
You're at a stage now where you want to get one out at a time. Don't worry about doing anything fancy.
Next pitch, Dawson swings and fouls it back. Strike 2, an off-speed breaking ball sat up there high, and Dawson just didn't miss it. Greg Gross has taken over in left field now, so they have an entirely different outfield, the Phillies do. Here's another pitch. Dawson, a high pop fly, going to drop into short right, I think. Second baseman can't get it. There goes the lead man on to third. First and third with nobody out. Just out of the reach of Manny Trillo.
Check swing base hit, and the Expos are back in business again. And they're stirring out in the bullpen.
And the batter is Gary Carter. Now Montreal has 8 hits. Carter's been on base twice with a single and a double. 6-1 the score. The pitch. There's a pop fly into short right. Chasing it is Gary Maddox. The runner tags at third. There's the catch. The run comes home to score as Maddox throws into second. That makes it 6-2. Sacrifice fly for Carter. He wanted more than that. White scored.
Well, that's it. You'll trade that run for an out any time, especially when you're getting into the 8th inning.
Larry Parrish is up. He's 0 for 3. He left a couple of men on in the 6th inning. Ron Reed checks the runner at first and throws over there. Here it comes, and a swing and a fly ball into center. Another one for Maddox. He drifts back to his left and has it 2 out. That's the wrong place to hit it.
He can cover it out there, and he sort of got in in the kitchen of Larry Parrish a little bit, jammed him, and he just hit the nice lazy fly ball to center field.
Parrish is 0 for 4, and Terry Francona is the batter. He beat out a bunt his last time. He is 1 for 3. Phillies leading 6-2, 8th inning. Trying to set it up for the 4th game tomorrow. Bob Boone behind the plate. Here it comes, and it's a straight call. You know, if I had a ball club, I'd really feel good with Boone behind the plate if he batted 150.
Well, we talked about how important a catcher is, especially when you have a pitching staff that's struggling a little bit.
Francona looks at one outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 out, top of the 8th. A run home. But the Phillies lead Montreal 6-2. Dawson on at first. Next pitch coming. Swing and a ground ball. And Rose, a good play. A force out at second. The inning is over. Rose going to his right. Through for the force out. Play went 3-6. 1 run for Montreal on 2 hits. 1 left. They've left 7. Now in the middle of the 8th inning. Philadelphia 6 and Montreal 2.
There is no...
We're going into the bottom of the 8th inning. The Phillies coming up, and they're in good shape, leading 6-2 over Montreal. For an update on the Houston Dodger game, let's join Jerry Coleman and Ralph Kiner in Los Angeles.
Here at Dodger Stadium, we're in the top of the 9th inning. The Houston Astros are trailing the Los Angeles Dodgers 6-1. The Dodgers got 3 in the first inning. They picked up 3 more in the bottom of the 8th inning. Houston got its only run in the top of the 3rd on a home run by Art Howe. Now in the top of the 9th inning, trailing by 5, a 6-1 ball game. Dodgers on top. Bill Garner has just walked. On the mound is Bob Welch for the Los Angeles Dodgers, their 3rd pitcher. The pitch coming in to Tony Scott. Right in there, 2 balls and 1 strike. And that's where it stands right now. Dodgers leading 6-1, top of the 9th, nobody out, runner at first base. And now let's go back to Jack Buck and Joe Torre.
We're going into the bottom of the 8th inning here. Sosa pitching. George Vukovich up. He takes ball 1. Vukovich delivered a big pinch single in the 6th inning to drive in a run. That made the score 3-1 at that time. And the Phillies went on top 6-1. Now it's 6-2, and there's a foul to even the count 1-1. Mr. Torre, it looks like we'll spend the evening here in the city of brotherly love.
That's right, and as I said, I feel that there are going to be more people out here for a Saturday afternoon game looking for the Phillies to even up the series.
Another pitch on the way. Vukovich chops it foul past first base. 36,835 the paid attendance. Sosa pitches. There's a ground ball to the right side. It goes through. That's a hit. He really golfed that low pitch. Knocked it through the hole in the right field, and Vukovich is 2 for 2. He may end up playing with some degree of regularity in the years ahead.
Well, the Phillies have the better bench, and he comes off the bench, and he's done a good job for them pinch hitting and plays a good defensive outfield. And I know the Expos don't like seeing this. You know, the Phillies have been having trouble making contact and getting the hits, and now they look like they're warming up for tomorrow.
Bob Boone is at the plate for the first time today. He tried to bunt, and he missed to throw to first, and the runner gets back. Boone batting in the number 1 spot in the batting order. Phillies leading 6-2. They had Boone bunting. Mike Crowley warms up in the bullpen for Philadelphia. Another throw to first base, and the runner gets back in time. Sosa is a right-handed pitcher against whom a lot of balks are called. Lead by Vukovich. Boone bunts the ball down the 3rd baseline. The pitcher goes to second. Out. A good play by Chris Speier, who dug it out of the dirt on a low throw by Sosa.
Made a great play, Speier did. And the way Sosa came off the mound, I didn't think he was going to have a chance to get the lead runner, but he made the strong throw, even though it was in the dirt. Speier stayed with it.
Runner at first, 1 out, and Pete Rose, the batter. He singled home a run in the 6th inning, and that made the score 4-1 at that time. Montreal got their run in the 2nd inning, their first run. Phillies got 2 in the 2nd. batting against Sosa for the first time today. 4 runs charged to Burris, none to Lee, although Lee allowed a couple of hits. 2 runs charged to Sosa. The runner goes off first, a swing and a miss, a throw. They've got the runner hung up, and now Cromartie drops the ball. He's safe at first base. Cromartie tried to tag him before he caught the ball. They had Boone hung up on a hit and run as Rose swung a miss.
Well, there was a hit and run. You can see Dallas Green just trying to get things going for tomorrow, trying to make the ball club stay aggressive, not to be satisfied with a 6-2 lead, but start thinking toward tomorrow. And Cromartie just took it for granted that he had the ball and was just going to make an easy tag, and it just fell out of his glove.
That's the 3rd error of the day charged to the Expos. This one marked against Warren Cromartie, and Boone is still at first with 1 out. Strike 1 to Pete Rose. Next delivery. Low for a ball. 1-1.
The Phillies are doing right now what the Expos have been doing the last 2 days. When they get a lead, they're going after it. And the Phillies, as I say, are trying to get it going again.
The pitch to Rose, batting left-handed. They play him to hit to left. He takes a strike. He's in the hole, 1-2. This game will be played in about 3 hours. Rose had 140 hits to lead the National League, 9 more than Bill Buckner of the Cubs. Here he comes from Sosa, and a swing and a bouncer to the right side. Second baseman boots it. And the runners are safe at first and second. The easiest of bouncing balls, and Jerry Manuel again took his eye off the ball, I guess. And that's the 4th Montreal error.
Well, they caught Philly in errors and passed them easy. It's just very sloppy out there right now, and I know Jim Fanning he must be concerned because of the fact that they have a 2-1 lead in this series, but they have to come out there tomorrow and hope to right themselves.
Now for an update on the Houston Dodger game, let's go to Jerry Coleman and Ralph Kiner in Los Angeles.
Well, here at Dodger Stadium, it's all over. The Dodgers have finally won a ball game against Houston. They won it by a score of 6-1. It was not easy. They got off to a fast start against Bob Knepper, who was the losing pitcher in the ball game, as they scored 3 runs in the first. A walk to Davy Lopes, a sacrifice, a double by Dusty Baker for the first run, and a 2-run home run by Steve Garvey. Houston got 1 back in the 3rd and a home run by Art Howe, and that was all the scoring that they could manage in the ball game as they were held to 3 hits. The Dodgers then broke it open in the 8th inning when they scored 3 more runs on 3 hits, and the Dodgers won it by a score of 6-1. Hooten the winning pitcher, Knepper the loser. And now back to Jack Buck and Joe Torre. This is Ralph Kiner in L.A.
A lot of people thought Joe Torre, the Bert Hooten, would win that game out there. He's very difficult to beat in any circumstances, but in his home park, he's double tough.
He's really a tough pitcher. He's given them some good years out there, and he's won a lot of tough ball games. I think since he had the trouble here in the playoffs a few years back, he's really become a much better pitcher.
Greg Gross is up now for the Phillies with 2 on and 1 out. A couple of errors in the inning and 4 in the game for Montreal. Tough for Sosa. He's pitched quite well. Here's the pitch. Gross looks at it inside, 2-1. A ground ball that sneaked through off the bat of Vukovic. And he was forced at second. They trapped Boone off first, but Cromartie dropped the ball. A little bouncer to the second baseman, Jerry Manuel, and he dropped it for an error. And Gross is up trying to add to the Philly lead, which is now 6-2, 8th inning. Swinging a bouncing ball to the right side. Cromartie fields it foul. Foul ball. Foul ball. We'll do it again. They count 2-2. Early on in this game, we had quite a rhubarb in the 4th inning on a bunt play. Took about 15 minutes to square that one away. Phillies have done the right things, Joe. They've moved runners along. They have sacrificed. They've done what they needed to do to win.
Well, the big thing, Jack, is the fact that Larry Christenson gave them a strong 6 innings and put them in a position to win this ball game.
He'll be the winner if the score stays as is. Meanwhile, Greg Gross trying to add to the 6-2 Philadelphia lead. The Dodgers beat Houston 6-1. The pitch. There's a double play ball to second. The throw to second out, on to first. A double play ends the inning. 4-6-3 off the bat of Greg Gross. The Phillies fail to score in the 8th. No runs, 1 hit, 2 errors, 1 left. They've left 9. And at the end of 8 innings, the score is Philadelphia 6 and the Expos 2. This game goes into the 9th inning with the Phils on top 6-2, trying to win their first game of the series and make it stand 2-1 in favor of Montreal. In which case, the two teams will play again tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern Time here at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Ron Reed tries to nail it down for Larry Christenson, and Chris Speier leads off. First pitch of the ball. Phillies have banged out 13 hits, the Expos 8. Here's Speier showing a bunt and taking ball 2. Speier has 2 hits, 2 out of 3. Driven home a run, and he's been a shining light for Montreal in these 3 games. Strike call, 2-1. Speier the batter. Leading off in the 9th. A foul and a half swing. Wallace Johnson is going to come up and bat next. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 9th, $36,000 paid here today. Next pitch to Speier. A high foul, back and out of play. The Dodgers beat Houston today, 6-1 to keep that series going. Ron Reed goes to work. There's a fly ball into right field. Getting under it. Vukovic has it. 1 out. Speier is 2 for 4. Batting for Jerry Manuel is Wallace Johnson. Johnson here in the 9th. And then Milner. Leadoff man has been retired. Wallace Johnson delivered one of the biggest hits of the year for Montreal, a 2-run triple in a game in New York against the Mets. It helped Montreal win the second half. He's a switch hitter, bats from the left side, strike call. You remember that hit, don't you, Joe Torrey?
I sure do. Neil Allen was the pitcher, and he gave Wallace a few practice swings and finally threw him a fastball, and he hit the ball right center. We were playing him a little bit the other way, like the Phillies are playing him right now.
Johnson gets back in. He spent the season at Denver. He takes a strike. It's 1-1. He has a distinctive batting style. With his bat almost held parallel to the ground. Here's the pitch on the way. A swing and a high pop foul near the stand. Schmidt's over there. Has the play. 2 out. I saw Wallace Johnson bat like that. It reminds me of Wes Covington. He used to play for the old Braves.
The old Braves and then the Phillies also. Wesley's a little bigger than Wallace is, though.
There are 2 out, and the batter is John Milner, pinch hitting for Sosa. Sosa pitched 2 innings. He gave 2 runs and 4 hits. Some of the hits ground balls that just did get through. He struck out none, and he walked none. Well, Philadelphia had 13 hits and 4 walks. Here's another pitch on the way, and that's a strike call. Well, Houston will play at Los Angeles again tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. And these two teams will go at it here at Veterans Stadium, Philadelphia, tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Dickie Knowles will pitch against Scott Sanderson. They're both right-handers, and again Montreal will have a chance to eliminate Philadelphia. There's a high fly ball. That's going to end this one. Into right center, and Maddox wants it off the bat of Milner. That's it. The Phillies have won it 6-2. Today's game is now history. The final score, Philadelphia 6, the Expos